All right, we ready?
You did turn the mics on?
Mics are on. All right, 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to episode 2 of Pipe Down. We have a full-on show today. We have the whole crew here and a special guest. Again, we got the original people that were here. Me as Kyle, Jared, John, and Chris. We're all back here today, and
What's
we
up,
have
everybody?
our fifth member. Josh, he is a Texas Tech fan, and his son Graham. Boys, take it away. Announce your names, favorite teams, do all the things you need to do.
I'm Josh, Red Raider alumni, so obviously I go for Tech with everything I got. Born and raised in Dallas, so Cowboys, Rangers, Mavericks, Stars, whatever else they got up there, it's always going to be where it goes for me because that's where my home is. So
It's good.
I was raised to just support all the teams my dad did, so I love Tech just as much as he does. Always cheer for the Cowboys, always cheer for the Rangers. Winning the World Series was a huge deal. Cheer for the Mavericks. So anything Dallas related and Tech, just yeah.
Well, welcome,
All
fellas. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. Yes, sir. To the show. And obviously, this is going to be the crew, guys. So this is our first video edited show. Everything good. Welcome. This is my garage. This is where we're going to be until things get better for us on this show, boys. Again, the crew is going to be Chris, John, Jared, Josh. It's going to be us five the whole time. And Graham, whenever he has availability. Graham is a Liberty Hill football player, so football season coming up. We're going to be busy. Josh won't be on the show as much just because he's a good dad. He likes to support his kids, and his kids are more important than the show, plain and simple. So every time Josh will be ready to go and ready to pull up, then he's more welcome to have him on the show because he's one of our guys. All right, boys.
Yeah.
First of all, how's y'all's weekend been so far? You know, got some good
Long.
preseason football.
Hot, very hot.
It's very hot in here today. All right, guys. So let's get into the first one today. Josh, in our meeting on Wednesday, pointed up he would really like to talk about college football, NIL, transfer portal. My personal opinion, I'm glad it's here. I'm glad players are finally able to get paid what they deserve. Absolutely, it should be getting a cut of the pie. I mean, these colleges for so long were making so much money off their backs and everything. So it's glad now. On the other hand, though, shit's kind of getting out of hand a little bit. I think we're paying players way too much money. I saw an interview with George Kittle where they talked about their new rookie minicamp things where they come in, they announce their signing bonus and everything. He literally said there was a 7th-round draft choice whose signing bonus was $15K, but he made $700,000 in NIL. And he's a 7th-round draft pick. So to me, I think it's a little crazy. And obviously with the transfer portal, is getting out of hand too. Josh, why don't we start off with you? What's your main opinion on everything here?
I'm all for NIL. Like you said, these guys have been exploited, for lack of a better term, by these
Millionaire.
by these programs and everything, and they're the ones putting everything on the line, putting their bodies on the line out on the competition field. So I got no problem with them getting paid. I wanted to talk about this topic just because I do think it's gotten out of hand. It just was like thrown out there by the NCAA. Same with the transfer portal. They kind of hit at the same time, and they've just thrown college sports in general, but specifically, everybody sees it the most with football. It's just it's thrown it into a whirlwind of chaos. And
There's no guardrails.
there's nothing to keep it from getting insane. And I don't really have a problem with any money they earn outside of these collectives. If they get an endorsement deal from Nike or Chains or whatever else, like, cool, they earned it. I don't have a problem with that at all. It's weird right now because I'm going to give you a different perspective on this too in a second, because obviously my Red Raiders have spent a ton of money this offseason. And so my perspective is, I think there needs to be some things put in place. I don't know exactly what that is, whether that's a salary cap situation or it's the NCAA, taking a firmer stand on some of this stuff.
I think you'll get a lot of
think you'll get a lot of lawsuits if you try to put a guard, or not necessarily a guardrail, but if you try to take what they're making already and put like a stamp on like, hey, you can't make any more than this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people, a lot of these players and stuff, you know, if they get a $2 million brand deal from, you know, like you said, Nike or something, and then the NCAA or somebody tries to come and say like, hey, you can't do that, you can't make that much money, then you're going to get like, well, you know, I put myself on the line for this, and they're saying they're willing to pay me this, but now you're sitting there and you're saying that I can't make this because you know it's too much or whatever.
Well, I think I think the cap comes in more play with like the school affiliated money,
like the collectives.
Yeah, the collectives, or how, because it's evolving like every day. We don't even see it. We don't even know what's all going on. So I think that's where it comes into play to make more sense. And then, like I said, so you've got to separate that money, those earnings, from whatever they get outside. That's their name, image, and likeness.
Right.
They should be able to make whatever kind of money they want to or can off of their own person. It's their body. If I want to go out and make money off of what I'm doing, I have the right to do that. Why don't they?
I agree with that.
My thing is, I feel that 100%, and I feel they should just put a cap. It should be a limit on how much, in a sense, because there's a lot of players out there making way more money than NFL players, in a sense, just off their first rodeo in the first year. And I feel like that creates some kind of mindset of premature irresponsibility, and they get used to a certain kind of way, and that kind of creates sometimes people we dislike or people we don't want to have in the system or in the program or whatever you want to call it.
Kind of like an entitledness.
Yeah,
Like they got too big
entitlement.
for they're bigger than the program.
Well, I mean, we have to remind ourselves too. Like they're giving money to 18. Ryan Williams, 17 years old. I mean, he just turned 18. He's on that sophomore. Like they're giving kids money. Like, I mean, we're all in our. I mean, I'm 23. Everyone else is in their mid 20s. Josh is almost in his 40s. So I mean, imagine all the things that we can do. It's not a shot. It's not a shot. It's not a shot. It's what it is, dude. But like, just imagine, like me, like with me at 18, getting $1.2 million. Are you kidding me? Like that's like. That'd be awesome.
But that's been going on forever, man.
Not millions of dollars.
Oh, hold on. You're talking about just football. I'm talking about in the general landscape of sports. Before the NBA said 1 year, one and done at least, LeBron James came out. How much money is he making in his rookie contract?
Yeah, but
Kevin Durant.
That's just a
mindset.
mindset.
You have some of the biggest names in the NBA in the last 20, 25 years that came out of high school as an 18-year-old kid making more than even these kids making in this collective stuff. You know, you got college, you got high school baseball players. If they get drafted high enough, they're getting that all that. They're getting tons of money.
I mean, the Mavericks just drafted Cooper Flagg, and he went to college for
1 year. He's like 19.
I'm excited.
You know.
Anyway.
Well, I mean,
and you look at Luka. I know he's not from the U.S., but he came over and he's 18 years old.
Guy.
But
he ain't fat no more,
the
brother.
fat
He's
guy,
35
he
pounds
slimmed down.
slimmer
He
now.
done.
He's
He
about
done
to
slimmed
drop
down.
like 60
Y'all talk about
He's
Luka
still
like
gonna be
that.
slow though. He's still gonna be slow.
Fat guy.
Hey, all them guys
Slow
from
and
Slovenia are
very
They
fluid.
all look slow, but them boys look.
No, they're
They
very
go
fluid
still-
with their motion. It's very
My
fluid.
favorite video of him is when they're celebrating the Western Conference Finals. He's over there chugging, and the who was it? The GM took the beer away from him.
He just kind of looked.
That is the best video. If y'all don't know what that is, y'all need to go watch that video. It's absolutely hilarious, and it ruins Luka's vibes. That's why they lost that championship. Excuse me. That's why they lost that championship right there.
But either way, those people we named, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Luka, they were given that money at an early age, right? But they also had a different mindset than a lot of kids, especially this generation. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody has that mindset, and there's a lot of crash outs. You know what I'm saying? They get that money and they don't even take care of their. Not saying all athletes are like this, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna happen, and it's just how do you really know you're giving that money to the right person? Yeah, they may deserve it on the football field, but
Well,
that's why I feel like we should just put a cap on it, because
Well, I feel like a perfect example of what he's talking about is the whole Nico situation from Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yes, exactly.
The team let him go because he thought he was bigger than the program,
And
he wanted however much money, got booted from the system, and now he's in a different system where he's being paid
kudos
even
to
less.
Tennessee.
So these players in their
Shout out
entitlements
Tennessee.
are almost are almost screwing themselves over too. Like they are.
Well, but that's on the program and that's on the young kids, right?
Well,
You know,
Well,
it's
I
kind
think
of
the
things
situation
where
was a little different because I think a lot of it came from his surrounding
His
party.
father.
oh yeah, for sure.
His
Because well,
father.
all these kids, it's like when we'll go back to Michael Crabtree when he left Texas Tech. He had a litany of family members that he was trying to take care of because he's the one that made it. Okay, but how much of them are giving negative influence to his career? He held out
exactly.
from the 49ers until like week 4 or 5 or something like
Right.
that, and he had an okay career in the league, but he wasn't what he could have been.
Yeah.
And if he'd have come back for one more year at Tech, he could have been a top 5 pick and been an untouchable, never caught in college football statistics as a wide receiver.
He got drafted too before that new CBA came out, so he would have probably made more than
so much
better
money.
receivers too.
So
So,
much money.
yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass a little bit too for like coaches and recruits and everything because literally a player like Texas with the Richard Wesley, the guy that jumped in with Dan Lanning in the pool, the recruit.
I know exactly. What you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so like I'm sure like with Texas, like I mean we can talk trash about teams spending NIL money. I mean if teams have the capability to spend $40 million, they're going to spend $40 million to get these players.
There's no question.
There's so many programs that are dying to win a national championship that they're doing damn near whatever it takes to get it done. I mean,
I think the NIL thing is awesome. I think that the schools being able to pay the players is really good.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You can take my Red Raiders for a perfect example of this. We got oil, gas, and cotton money, man, and it don't stop there. And so where we've been able to get some good recruits in and able to develop some of these lower tier, like 3-star, 4-star guys into playing at a high level, maybe getting to the NFL. Well, now there's nothing stopping. There's not that blue chip barrier that like the Texases and the Alabamas and the USCs and the Ohio States and the Floridas. Even though Florida, outside of the Tebow years with Urban Meyer, has been mediocre at best. You've got programs now like Texas Tech. Tennessee kind of had a resurgence because of NIL. I feel like, and Heupel's doing a good
Josh
job.
Heupel was like a top tier coach.
Yeah. I'm not. Well, and that's
and-
what I'm saying is.
And before even NIL got stable too, I mean, Josh Heupel already had to turn around.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's allowed them to like continue that upward trajectory.
When you're taking a lot of these smaller schools that weren't able to recruit as well as the bigger schools, and you're kind of leveling the playing field because if some of these smaller schools like SMU or something, you can take the same amount of money and give it to these players that the bigger schools are if you're willing to do that.
Right.
So you're taking, if you've got a quarterback that maybe is good enough to be, like a blue chip quarterback, but doesn't get offered, and you give him the same amount of money to go to a smaller school, now you're getting the quarterback play from like a higher level quarterback at a smaller school that gives them that extra advantage to, play with the bigger schools.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing that I think is going to be really good for college football and college sports in general is you're having a much wider distribution of talent. So you're not going to have the years of.
Hold on, boys, pipe down for 1 second. Boys, I'm going to go check on the meat. We got some delicious chicken wings today for today's smoking meat section with the pipe down, boys. Conversation continues.
The landscape of college athletics is in a much better position because of NIL while there's problems with it. Because you're with the redistribution of talent, the years of Alabama, and I like Alabama. So the years of Alabama winning every other national championship are over, brother. Like
For sure.
that's done.
For sure.
You might still have these programs like Alabama, Ohio State, Texas is on the verge of being that like this again. Georgia, Oregon. Like you may have these programs that are always gonna be there because the money's endless for them too, and they've already had talent. And finally, Texas went and got themselves a coach that learned from the master and Nick Saban and fixed his own personal life and came to Texas and has been able to completely build that into what it is now.
Put us in like top 3 of recruiting every year.
I respect it as a Tech fan say it too.
They make more money than anybody in college sports, right? So we'll see about Kalen DeBoer in Alabama if he's able to be the guy after the guy. That's really hard to do.
They're always going to be Alabama. They will always be.
But like Dan Lanning, he learned from Kirby Smart, the original Saban disciple, and he's carried that out to the West Coast at Oregon. So you've got these programs. Ryan Day, I don't like Ryan Day. I think it's a crybaby, so I don't really want to get into that. But you've got all these programs that, I mean, Oregon's got ties to Nike, so their money's never going to go anywhere. Texas, the University of Texas brings in more revenue through their sports programs than any other program in the nation. Alabama is a storied tradition-rich, like, it starts with football, but they're good at a lot of things, and they have been for a long time. They've always kind of run the southeastern part of the country as far as athletics. LSU is going to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these programs have either long-standing tradition of success and excellence, and so because of that, you've got a lot more players that have gone to pro in their respective sports. So what does that mean? That means more alumni with more money. The thing with Tech that's put us in this position to be able to spend what we're spending is our money isn't always been attributed to athletics. It's come from other things. We've got senators and CEOs and then Cody Campbell, who's leading the charge right now, and Dustin Womble. Our facilities are top tier now. So there's no longer a facility problem. There's no drought of money. It's always going to be there. And these guys are just going to, I mean, I think it's going to turn into one of those things, speaking specifically about Tech, where these guys are, if what we've done in the offseason this year shows out on the field and we get the results that we think we're going to get, then people that have been wanting Tech to be at the forefront of college athletics for a long time, alumni, they're going to start saying, okay, maybe I need to contribute to this pool of money. And now you're talking about really deep pockets for a school that people, I mean, we're fairly young, man, established in 1923. Like, we haven't been around as long. I mean, some schools are 50, 60 years older than us, and so you're talking about a lot of people with a lot of money finally saying, you know what, and we're not breaking any rules, we're not doing anything shady, we're following everything you have to, but we're in a position now to really be something in the landscape of college sports. Not just football.
Respect it.
Not just football. That's why we've made pushes in basketball. And baseball was the only thing that really started pushing that way before all this started happening. That's because we got a hell of a coach who was a rock star at the D2, D3 level. We just figured out how to transition that to Division I.
We went to the Natty in softball in 1 year by spending $1 million on one player after never even sniffing a conference championship, and we went to the final day of the season you can possibly play on.
See, that's what's up. I like that. Y'all put me on game that I didn't even know about Tech. So
that's why I think it's so important for this to be an ongoing conversation with a lot of people, and just constantly, whatever, Jerry.
Sorry, buddy.
And just continue to, like, the conversations have to continue. They've got to start figuring it out, because in ways, I don't have a problem with the transfer portal. I don't have a problem with the NIL, but in ways, it has also tainted college sports. So you've got to find that happy medium where this is a part of it. It's not going anywhere, because it's not now. The cat's out of the bag. Snake's out of the bottle.
Pay the players,
yeah.
but put a limit on it.
Well, not only that, like, just everything that you're
let them
introducing,
grow.
Yeah, everything that you're introducing into college football is to make the game better, but there has to be stipulations. There has to be guardrails, like the transfer portal. They're putting these dudes in a situation midway through playoffs where they got to choose if they want to stay with their team, if their team made it to the playoffs, or transfer. That's stupid.
I don't think the transfer portal should ever open up while the season is
exactly.
It should open up after fall camp, because if you find out I'm not going to touch the field and you want to go try to have an opportunity somewhere else, it's likely not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're behind getting there anyway. They've already gone through their spring ball. They've already gone through their fall camp. The depth chart's most likely established. The only people that's going to work for is like this 5-star monster quarterback that's sitting behind a senior.
Exactly.
And they don't have anything close to that over here. That's not gonna work for most people. It's gonna be the elite of the elite athletes in college football and then you open it up at the end of the season once the national championship is over.
Yeah. Making these guys make a decision like that, one, puts a bad taste in other teams that may be looking for somebody's mouth because they're like, well, you left your team when they were making a playoff push and everything. So it's like, do I want to bring somebody? Now, obviously, if it's like a 5-star, like you said, that's sitting behind somebody, then obviously they're going to. But, the lower tier guys that are like, I'm not ever going to get playing time here. I'm just going to go ahead and transfer.
Yeah.
You're putting them in a situation, and it's making them look bad because they're hitting the transfer portal in the middle of the playoffs.
Well, and that you see that a lot with these guys that have like a breakout season at a mid-tier program, or maybe even like, well, the guy I played for is injured. I know he's going to be the guy next year, but I showed up. I showed out this year, and so they're like, well, I'm going to go see what's better for me out there.
It's like what we were talking about.
Finish the year, man. Finish the year.
Well, the same thing happened to Jonte Cook, a 5-star wide receiver that left through Texas halfway through last year because
he went to Oregon, right?
No, he went to
Washington.
Washington didn't even play, and then now he's
at.
Where's he at now? There's some other big
Either-
time. He's out west somewhere.
Things are still kind of new, and I think that overall they gonna figure it out. And
Well,
So the first thing they need
is
to
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Oh,
The first thing they need to do is they
Syracuse.
need to have one transfer portal, and it does not need to be during the season.
Well, no, no. What they
Valid.
need to do is this: if you're a football player, the football player transfer portal is open right after the season ends. If you are a baseball transfer, like if you're going to play baseball transfer portal, now that needs to be open after the season. Anything for like soccer and all that. So I understand in college though there is 2-sport athletes, but if you're going to transfer, let's say your main one is track, but you also play. Let's say you're at Tennessee. I'm on a track scholarship, but I also got a football scholarship while I was here too. But I want to go to Miami because they have a better track team. Well, then you get the transfer from track to football, but you need to pick your main sport. So let's say your main sport is track. You don't get to transfer to the fall. Well, guess what? You don't get to play football that season. You have to wait till the next year to do it. I mean, that's the only way they can fix it because you can't just sit there and just I'm transferring here, I'm transferring there, I'm transferring
Well, they need
here.
they need to put a limit on it because you'll get dudes like, and this is going to take the. I think this is probably making the biggest difference is, these guys that aren't playing their first or second years, they transfer and then they're not playing at the other school that they transfer to.
Micah Hudson.
Yeah, and then they're transferring again. It's like you're not going through the hard stuff. You're not getting through the like Archford is a very good example. He sat behind Quinn for 2 years. He could have went and played anywhere in the country, anywhere. But he decided
Most
to
people
go.
expected him to come in and take Quinn's job.
Exactly.
it's like give them enough.
No, you're good. Just go through the hard stuff. It makes you a better person. But if you're leaving like an unlimited transfer for these guys, and they can just keep transferring every year, you're not building your character. You're not staying through the hard stuff and getting through the hard stuff of sitting behind somebody for a year or two.
Well, you want to know why Alabama did what Alabama did with Nick Saban? It's because everybody waited their turn.
Right.
And the people who didn't fit the culture, who didn't fit the program, those are the few guys that left and never turned into anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa comes in and takes his job in that national championship. Runs the team the entire year. He gets hurt before the SEC title game. Jalen Hurts comes in, leads him to the SEC title. Tua's the quarterback for the playoffs. Jalen waited, graduated from Alabama, and then with his final year of college eligibility, realized I'm not the starter. I got 1 year left. I got a potential for an NFL career. I'm going to go somewhere where it's going to, like, he went to Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. A lot of criticism with Jalen Hurts is he can't read the field. He's in a pro-style offense with Alabama. They don't spread it out enough like the NFL does. And he's a one-read guy. I never thought that. I thought Jalen Hurts was a damn good quarterback.
Well, he's been to 2 Super Bowls and won one. So
Yeah.
it's like,
That's what
And so then he goes, so what's he do? He's like, all right, where can I go? Lincoln Riley needs a quarterback after Kyler Murray. I can go play 1 year at Oklahoma in one of the most prolific offenses in college football with weapons all over the field. And he's going to the way he uses me is going to show the NFL. I don't care about the media. I don't care about the fans in that regard. I care about what the NFL scouts are evaluating me as. So my tape at Oklahoma is going to showcase that I can read the entire field. I can hit the deep ball. I can hit the middle crosser. I can hit the shallow dump off. And he did it. So he becomes a second-round pick for the Eagles. And at this point, boys, we're living his history.
Yeah.
So the transfer portal is important because I don't like. Back in the day, right? You had you transferred
And you
sit out. Yeah, didn't matter why you transferred. The only way you could play right now is if you got like a medical waiver, a family hardship waiver, or something like that. So like, I'm from Texas. I play at Ohio State. My mom has cancer. I need to be closer to home. They give you a waiver, right? Sometimes they deny those waivers, and you don't have it. There is no recourse. There is no, well, can you think about it again? No. When the NCAA answers, the NCAA answers, and that's
But
it.
this is why the NCAA is so pointless, though, because they do stuff the dumbest way possible as well. Because again, it's a bunch of old white men that are just sitting there, just like, man, whatever. I mean, we all know eventually the NCAA is going to go away, especially on the football side.
It's either gonna adapt or not.
Yeah, it's going to die.
I think
I think
I
it's
think
more
they-
likely
I think
that
it's
gonna
gonna
die,
adapt.
but until it's
I think
dead.
it's gonna
That's
adapt.
a long-standing, powerful
Well,
institution
I mean,
that
you
They
look,
gonna figure it
but
out.
you look at the thing what Michigan's going through with the whole cheating scandal. That was 3 years ago now.
oh yeah.
And they still haven't figured out what happened here. And by the way, Michigan didn't even do anything that bad. Everyone had a sign stealer. Just one person did it better than everybody else. That's all it was.
They should just give players, for NIL perspective, give players. What?
This is why they need
Ano-
agents. This is why they're starting to get agents now, which is a smart thing because you already know if they get some bull crap like Marvin Harrison Jr. and sign that 4-year deal with Fanatics, he couldn't be licensed to play. Like he couldn't have his last name on the Arizona Cardinals jersey, so he'd just be bland number 18 out there. Everybody knows who he is. They can't do anything because the NFL can't sell his jerseys because he signed an exclusive rights deal with Fanatics. So now the NFL is like, okay, well now we have to wait till your deal's done. Thankfully, Fanatics and the NFL actually worked something out, and it turned out it was just a Fanatics executive that was just having a stick up his butt.
What are you saying, Joe?
But
I think they just need to give players enough to do something NIL wise, but not too much to do nothing. And because you do that, they're just gonna get big hairs, gonna carry into the NFL. Problems gonna be made. Transfer portal needs to be at the end of the season. You need wherever you're at, you need to play that year because just bouncing back and forth and just because you don't like something versus over here, that's just what kind of person are we really creating? Is life going to be that easy once you graduate and hit the real world?
not to cut you off, that's exactly Nick Saban's point. That's the exact reason why he retired because literally Miss Terry came up to him and said, "What are we doing this for? If everyone's like caring about the money, we're not preparing kids." You looked at the kids that came out of Alabama. Now there's a couple outliers. Yeah, like they're not good.
Got the NFL really made poor choices.
Reuben Foster,
Henry Rhodes.
That's my point.
Those guys right there
That's my
made
point.
poor choices. You look at every single player outside the select handful at Alabama. Look how many of them started businesses. Look how many of them are like actual good people in the community. Not only just great ball players, they're good fathers, good people, good followers of God and everything. Like they're generally good people. And the problem is too is like with the transfer portal. Yeah, you see all the big names happening. What about the thousands of kids that just sit in the portal because no one wants them? They just gave up a scholarship because they've been told, oh, now if I transfer, I can go get money. That's not the case. Only like 400 kids get picked out of that transfer portal for each sport.
Right.
There's probably another 600
Especially
just
with
sitting there.
the looming roster caps and all that. Like
You
They're
don't know.
screwing. It's those kids right there are listening to the parents that are money hungry, and it's unfortunate. It's the people that are surrounded by us saying, we're listening to them, they're giving bad advice. When realistically, if you just wait, like that's the key thing with almost anything you do in life. If you have patience, it'll come. We all know that. The
Just like-
patience you have will work off and it'll come to you.
Like just like John was saying, kind of to work off of that, there's always a gray area in something like this, whether it be, what kind of people are you
Right.
creating by doing this, or, is it somebody that's just money hungry? Oh, well, I'm only getting paid, $1 million here, but they're offering me $1.2 million. It's $200,000 more. There's always a gray area in everything. The problem with what we have now is that the gray area for college football is so big
Widening. Yeah.
that you're creating everything
Bigger and
that's
bigger.
on the outside of the gray area is starting to become gray because you've got people that are
There's no more
5-star
fun.
athletes and stuff that are like, okay, I'm just gonna go play somewhere else because I want to, or
Right.
because they're offering me a little bit more money.
Well, and in response to what John said about like these programs are paying kids money and then they kind of screw themselves or get screwed in a way. Well, that's why all these programs are hiring GMs.
Yeah,
That's why, like, we have a hell of a GM, James Blanchard in Lubbock. Notre Dame tried to steal him from us, and we were like, no, that's not happening. Here's your money, James. And James Blanchard, not too long ago, came out and said, like, as it pertains to NIL, we're not doing anything underhanded or dirty. We have a lot of money that we can give to these kids. And so if a school values this recruit or a player they're trying to hold on to in the portal, but we've identified as somebody who could impact our program in a positive way, and they value him at $100,000, well, I value him at $250, or I value him at $300. So we may be setting the market for these kids, but those schools have the opportunity to match.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Speaking of head coaches and GMs,
No, y'all are covering most of it.
did we?
Yeah,
more
or
an
less.
NFL guy anyway, though, right?
Yeah, there's more NFL.
Did we ever expect Bill Belichick and Michael Lombardi to be head coach and GM of the college football program?
Never, but I'm so excited for that.
I'm ready for this. Just
Dude,
to
they
see
got
what
their quarterback. No one's talking about it. Gio Lopez from South Alabama. That dude's a stud for South Alabama. Like, I know it's South Alabama and it don't mean much or anything. Gio Lopez was a stud. He will be like the next Diego Pavia for the ACC.
Well, and that's one good thing that comes out of the transfer portal and everything like that. You get like these quarterbacks or whoever running backs or something that maybe didn't get as many looks coming out of high school, and they go to a smaller school, but they ball out, and now they're transferring into a big program and they're getting their name out there.
Yeah, they're getting
That's
exposure.
Yeah, exactly. That's one good thing about the transfer.
Building their brand.
Exactly. Or you're building up their brand, like you said, and they're getting more exposure, and it's the difference between making life-changing money and staying where you're at for 3 or 4 years because you didn't have enough exposure.
Well, and that's all of that comes down to a personal choice. Where are you in life? Where are you coming from? That's going to impact. I mean, there's always been the argument nature versus nurture, right? But at some point, your environment is going to impact your life. Whether you let it sink it or help it rise to the top, that's up to you and how you respond. As a former coach, I used to tell my players that all the time. Like, you may not have a good home life, and I feel sorry for you. Or not sorry, I feel for you in that.
Yeah.
But at some point, what do you want to do? I had a kid, he's like, I want to play basketball at North Carolina. Then you have to put in the work to get recognized. You have to stay out of trouble. You have to make choices that maybe your family's history doesn't make. But like, if that is your goal, that is your dream, then you have to put the work in. You have to give up you have to sacrifice as needed. And sometimes you have to remove yourself from the situation, and that's hard when it's family, man. But especially families in the South, they're tight knit. Not saying they're not tight knit everywhere, but I'm from the South, so that's what I'm going to speak to. Right. Families are tight knit in the South, for the majority of what you're talking about. And so, but if it's a bad situation, I'm a family man. I'm not going to be on the show because I'm going to be supporting my son. But at some point, if it's toxic and it's bad, you have to make the decision to I want better for my life. Yeah. I want something that I can't get if I stay here.
Control the control. Control what you can control.
Right.
As
you
the
can't
GOAT,
control those.
As the GOAT, John Cena says,
Yeah.
as he says, control the control. Giving out life advice here on the pod. Boys, great topic. I think we made some good points there.
We just got to create good men in general.
That's what we need.
Sport is a sport.
We need some more good men in our future.
Well, it's going to end, right? It ended for all of us.
Yeah.
So it's going to end for all of them, too. You got a freak like Tom Brady, it ends way later than everybody else. Yeah. But it ends so much sooner for everybody else. And so what do you have to contribute after that?
And that's the point of the Pipe Down Pod. We're here to contribute good entertainment and also talk about sports as a family, as we all are. Again, boys, great job on that topic right there. Everyone made very good fun, boys. Grant, good job, boy. Good job. I'm proud of you, man. Good job. Thanks. All right, guys. We are in the midst of preseason, however, so now let's get into a little bit of NFL topics. I want to do a quick review. I know some of y'all didn't watch the Cowboys preseason game. I did watch a little bit of it. I I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's just
I watch
preseason.
highlights. I watch the highlights.
It's preseason. It is what it is. However, on the Broncos side, I did watch that whole game, and I was slightly disappointed in the first team offense. First team defense, I just want to say this. We're going to be some badasses this year. The first drive on the 49ers, not good. Matt Jones threw an absolute dot to, I can't even think of the receiver's name. He's a rookie for the 49ers. Threw an absolute dot. That's kind of how they scored on that end right there. Counter play, touchdown. But then after that, Nick Bonino came out and had back-to-back sacks and had a quarterback pressure that ran right into the arms of John Franklin Myers. Overall, good showing. Bo Nix in that offense, they came out a little flat. You can clearly tell that they were not expecting any corner blitzes or anything like that. Robert Saleh, who, by the way, a little bit of the preview 49ers, I think they're going to be back. I do, in a big way, too.
McCaffrey.
Yes.
I love McCaffrey.
Is it McCaffrey?
I love McCaffrey.
Who doesn't like McCaffrey? White running backs, man, for the win. But yeah, so overall, okay with the performance. You know, Bo Nix came out a little jittery, underthrew a couple passes. Other than that, second team offense good. Second team defense, just eat them up all day. But boys, that's my little preseason update for y'all. Again, with the Cowboys, y'all wouldn't have much to worry about. I think Stetson Bennett just had a day. That's all that was. But boys, so we're gonna get into the NFL. We got some huge contract problems, and on top of that, we got some pretty ugly quarterback battles. We all know Shador Sanders. The Colts are probably going to be. I'm probably going to pick them last in the division when we do our AFC predictions. They are not good. The Ravens' backups was eating them alive. Bad game overall. I know it's preseason, but still not a great look. And AR got hurt because he missed a protection, which we can get. Which we can get into that.
That's his fault, though. Come on.
It is his fault. But boys, let's get into these contract situations. Terry McLaurin, as of right now, we are recording this. Obviously, we're going to upload it on Monday. As of right now, there's been no updates on Trey Hendrickson, Terry McLaurin, Michael Parsons, any other contracts. So if anything comes out before this video updates, our apologies. I'm not going to edit that in because we have kids that we got to take care of. So I'm not doing that. But in the meantime, boys, in the current present day we're in, this Terry McLaurin contract is ridiculous. Michael Parsons is ridiculous. Trey Hendrickson, he plays for the Bengals, which is ridiculous as it is. So we all know that.
Kind of the name of their game.
But boys, I really want to get into these contracts because there's really no need for some of these teams not to be paying some of these players. Quick thing, like with the Broncos paying Cortland Sutton a 4-year, $92 million deal. He's only getting paid 18 highest in the league, and he deserved that money after sticking with us for some terrible years. There are a lot of years, especially the Dangerous years, which
I don't know about them.
I just had so much PTSD just hitting me right now. It's so bad. That Christmas Day game against the Rams. But boys, let me get y'all's opinions on these NFL contracts. Like, what are y'all thinking overall? Chris, we'll start off with you, man.
I mean, it goes. For me, it's like back and forth because at the same time, you have people that want players to abide by contracts and what they've already signed and, play throughout the year. A lot of players like to get contracts a year or two before it's over, try to get renewals and stuff like that. Understandable, especially, owner side. Owners, they have contracts too, but at the end of the day, they can also just cut players at a whim. Just right away. Not even like a So it's like a back and forth. I feel like players should. I like it when they hold out. Kind of like more or less pay me what they deserve. In some circumstances, I do. It's a little harder for me to, just because my Patriots, a lot of the players, they took cuts in order to get rings. So it's also like, I feel like a lot of players nowadays, like in one circumstance, with Dak Prescott, $60 million.
Too much.
Now you really can't Now you get Micah. You know, Micah's also a max kind of contract kind of guy, and you also have CD that's 3 max contracts. Like at that, you got 3 players that are on maxes. It's
taking a quarter of the salary.
Yeah,
salary
it's
cap already.
it starts to be hard to build around that, and then it's just back and forth.
I feel like you mentioned those 3 on the Cowboys. I feel like the thing with those 3 is this is Dak's second big contract.
Yeah. And they were just examples too.
Yeah. No, well, I'm a Cowboys fan. Let's talk about them because they've all happened really recently anyway. You know what I'm saying? So Dak's got his second big contract. CD just got his first big one, and Mike is trying to get his first big one. The way the CBA works, 3 years after into the league as a rookie, you can start negotiating for your next deal. Most rookies that aren't the caliber of Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb aren't negotiating because they still have meat on the bone to prove. Okay, Micah Parsons has to be signed now. This is stupid, Jerry. I don't care. I don't care if it's all. It could be all settled behind closed doors, and this is a media circus. I don't care. You are pissing the fans off, and this man has done something that nobody else in the history of the league, except for one person, has ever done, and that is the greatest defensive player of all time in Reggie White. Reggie White, 12 sacks in his first 4 seasons.
Oh, damn.
And Micah Parsons had 12 sacks in 13 games last year because he was hurt.
When he was on the field, the Cowboys' defense was radically different. If you go and look at like the actual season stats, when he's not on the field, we are second to dead last, and when he is on the field, we're right there with the Eagles at like number 2, number 1.
I'll go to my fault.
He impacts the entire defense, the entire team, the entire game. It's a whole different game plan for the other team when he's not on the field. He's the best defensive player we've had since DeMarcus Ware, and we're not paying him for what? We're screwing around because
it's the same thing that Jerry's done with
Zach Martin, CD,
like
Oh, I know. It's a pattern.
It's like, why? I understand, like, as a player, go get your money. Any dime that you've earned, make that money. As an owner, you know that when you have somebody of the caliber of Michael Parsons, either get it done or you're going to pay the max amount of money. If you would have paid Michael Parsons last year, or even the year,
you're probably getting him for like $12 million less.
Exactly. Now you got Myles Garrett, who just got paid $40 million. T.J. Watt, who just got paid $40+ million. What do you think Micah's expecting now? And he's got the biggest agent.
43, 44.
He's got the biggest agent in the NFL with Mulligeta. And Mulligeta gets his guys.
He's like
paid.
that.
Yeah, he literally.
Sean Watson was the perfect example.
He has a contract that ruined the NFL.
Well,
I took down the whole Players Association.
I obviously want Micah to get paid, but to be honest, if he wasn't on the Cowboys because we traded him, we better be getting the best bang for the buck.
Yeah,
I don't mind it. My thing is make a decision, pay him or do something.
But what? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though.
Man, 2, 3 first round, second round, third round.
Here's the thing that's happening with the NFL, though.
Maybe this.
Oh, you're not going to pay this guy? We ain't trading shit. We're going to wait for you to cut him. Or wait for his contract to be up. And now you're out.
But that's what's going to happen.
I know. That's my point. I want to get 3, 4 first round picks for Michael Parsons or a all pro something, 3 first rounders, a second rounder, whatever. I agree with you. That's what he's worth. But who's paying that anymore?
They're paying for Khalil Mack, but remember the Khalil Mack? I said this last party, the Khalil Mack situation. All I'm saying, it can be done.
Oh, I'm
they
not saying
gave
it
up
can't.
bad.
But you're seeing a lot more. You're seeing a lot more of teams just sitting back and
that's been
waiting.
going up since then. So really,
2018.
So it's like it's different now than it was then because back then
they were only getting
teams would pay a premium to get somebody like
Khalil Mack. Everybody's cap has went up since then too.
Who was the receiver that just got traded this past season and they gave up like a 5th round?
To who?
Say it again. Say it
It was
again.
a big.
Well, freaking
big time-
Amari Cooper got traded for a 7th rounder
Yeah,
a
exactly.
few years ago.
It's-
After we
it's
traded
just
a
like
first
that.
rounder for him 3 years, 4 years
Yeah.
ago.
I can't remember
It
who
was big.
it was his dad.
Is it Debo?
Y'all swapped
It might have been.
Yeah, Debo. Debo
Yeah,
went for like
Debo,
a 5th
a
round
fifth round pick, exactly. To
He's an
the
all-pro.
Commanders.
He's an all-pro.
He's not the same, but he's still Debo. Like,
You know, he's gonna be a great gadget for Kingsbury.
Yeah,
I think it's more so like
snacking.
when you hit that 29, 30 age mark, that's when they just start questioning everything. Your longevity in the league, if you can even still play. It's
Trey,
an age
and,
thing.
and the thing is,
Scary
that's-
Terry.
but
I feel
that-
like that's why their hesitation is.
but that,
He's
it's a
about to
fair,
be 30
it's
years
a
old.
fair evaluation because like, I
But
mean,
he's
these
balling.
Not
owners.
if they're balling out.
That's
Hold
what
on,
he's balling.
I understand that, but if you're going to look through it through the owner's eyes, it's an investment.
For sure.
It's what it is. I mean, these
what
I know, but these billionaires didn't get there. Making
It's an
dumb
investment in
investments.
the player
They
himself.
got to where they are with investing, and so the thing is, the truth is, for premium positions like cornerback, like wide receiver, like running back, once you start to hit 30 years old, it's going to come into
I
touchdowns.
guess Trey is the perfect example.
But
for that
Trey,
too,
but
though.
Trey and
Unless
pass
you're Brady.
rusher, Trey and pass rush, guys like Trey Henderson are a little bit different in this way of like pass rushers can play high quality. Von Miller's still playing high quality football. Now he's on
Yeah.
snap count now,
Well, yeah.
and
Yeah,
because he's a little bit older.
But then
when
your
you
contract's
when you need to
impacted
put-
by that, right?
But yes, and the thing is too is like what I'm saying with pass rushers is like they're going to last a lot longer than a running back, wide receiver, and corner. It's just the truth of it. I mean, you look at the length of it. I mean, there's outliers like
because of
Derek-
the age of it. I don't understand that, bro.
bro. Because I mean,
Everybody's still getting contact. It's
So
a body
look,
thing.
look at it like this: you're 35-year-old corner. You're going up against a 23-year-old wide receiver who just ran a 4.23 at the combine. Your chances are it's not going to happen.
Perfect example of this is Trent Williams and Nick Bosa. And
we were just talking about that
We're
on
talking
the way
about
here.
that somebody over here. Trent Williams is still a high-level left tackle in the NFL, but he's coming off of a really bad injury last year, and
He's 38
he
years
went
old.
to Shanahan and was like, "Bosa's beating me on every rep." Bosa's 26 years old. You're 38. Yeah, he's beating you on every rep.
That's the exact reason why Teron Armstead retired. Because he went up against who's the new passer?
Jared Verse.
Was it Jared Verse? He went up against Jared
That dude's
Verse, and it's just like
He
I
is.
just can't. He's
I
like
can't keep
do
up
it.
with the young bucks anymore. And that's the thing.
But
It's like
30
Trent
compared to
Williams.
38 is a big ass difference.
I know,
But,
but what I'm
but
saying
Teron,
is
in
Trent
football.
Williams.
but Teron Armstead's 32.
Yeah.
And he's going up against someone that was only 5 years younger than him. That's it.
I think it's different
That-
position to position.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. Well, you got more quarterbacks playing longer. You know, you got safeties like Harrison Smith hanging on. He's not old, but he's getting up there. You know,
And I think Kyle almost said it like, and there's like the perfect example of anomaly and skill guys like that is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
running backs usually cut
but
off.
he's a rare breed.
Yeah,
It's like
but
Tom
he's
Brady.
his own
Right,
thing.
tight
Yeah,
end,
that's
running
the-
back.
But he's
We're
his
not
own
going to
thing.
see another.
Yeah.
Running backs do not last till 32, 33
6'4",
years old.
200
Not at
pound
that
running back
level of
long
you,
time.
you don't be a 32-year-old running back at like 6'4",
In an MVP
200.
conversation.
Just a quick little fantasy draft story from last year. So obviously we didn't have one last year, so we didn't start the show. But in Eric's league, I had the opportunity to draft Derrick Henry, and I saw how old he was, and I was like, I just can't do it. And the guy that ended up winning the championship had Derrick Henry on the team.
See?
That's the crazy thing.
Derrick-
You just think one thing, and then players are just built different. So
Some
ever
people are
since
just-
then, it's like there's some players are just built mentally different. They're like Mike Evans is mentally different
Yes.
than everything else. And Mike Evans doesn't get the credit he deserves to.
No, it does not.
Does not. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's
He's
had,
not.
like,
It's a
his
product.
past like 6 years, he's had 1,000 plus receiving.
And
yards.
look
it's like
at
And
11.
look,
and
he's
look at
tied
the-
Jerry
look at the-
Rice's record for most consecutive 1,000-yard
And
seasons.
look at the
Mhm.
quarterbacks he played with. Famous Jameis.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Brady for 3. It's 3,
three
right?
years, and now he's Baker. And Baker's balling. I'm a big
He's
Baker
research.
hater,
He's going back up.
Yeah, he's came back in a big way too. But
He's looking nice.
it's just these contracts are just out of control. Get them paid. Bottom line, they need to get paid. You need
Starts creating
in
friction.
order for
You end up
Jaden
like
Daniels
Cincinnati.
to be good. He's going to need Terry McLaurin. In order for the Cowboys defense to have some chance, you need Michael Parsons. In
Yeah.
order for the Bengals, and we all saw in that preseason game, I don't know if y'all watched it or not, the backup quarterback for the Eagles, Tanner McKee, went right over the Bengals defense, no
Yeah.
problem. It was like a 3-yard tush push, and he didn't
Well,
get
they've
touched.
already got one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, not
But
only
without Trey, you're that much.
That's what I'm
worse.
saying. Like, you've got one of the worst with the best pass rusher in football, statistically,
Yeah.
and you're not paying him, so he's off the field.
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do, man? You're going to be in a track meet every game,
You
and
bet.
that don't work in the NFL.
Although I will say,
I know.
Shamar Stewart going up against the twos, he did look pretty. He looked nice. He looked
Well,
nice.
and
His preseason.
they finally
backup.
got his rookie contract done.
Well, that actually came out to be later. His agent was just giving him bad advice.
And
That now came out to be the Bengals were one of the last teams to have that clause in his contract where it's like, hey, if I go to jail, you have to pay me. And all the owners are like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in jail and you're not producing plays for us and you're not doing your workouts, and you're not doing what your contract is, we don't have to pay you.
Yeah, you're not at work.
And the Bengals were
We
the
don't
last
get
one to
paid if
do
we're
it.
not there.
Yeah, and the agent was just like, well, I don't want that to be a precedent. The second round pick signed the same contract. The third round pick signed the same contract. The fourth round pick signed the same contract. All the draft picks signed it. It's just that was the first year they started doing it. Now every single NFL team has it. Every single NFL team has it, and it makes sense. And the only thing they did was just waste Shamar Stewart's time, which he doesn't know. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
You're listening to people that should be knowing this, and they're giving him bad advice. I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole NIL discussion again. These dudes are getting bad advice.
Well,
Just
isn't
because-
his agent like 26 years old?
His agent is like barely 30, I think.
I think
Like
his agent's
he's,
like very.
and they were like, "Oh no, don't." And he was listening to other agents saying, "Well, don't sign that contract. Don't sign that contract." It's like, no, this is the contract you're gonna get, and then just give him a bigger signer, $500,000 up front. Which
Another
is
thing with
cool,
with the
but
Bengals,
still they wasted time.
not only have they not signed Trey, and they just signed their first round rookie, they had one of the second guys behind Trey retire this past offseason too.
Sam
Hubbard, yeah.
So it's like not only you don't
All
have
because
your
of that
top
touchdown.
guy on there,
And you don't have the guy.
you don't have the guy that was
when
right
he's off
behind.
when he's off the field. Yeah.
Coming from a man who doesn't make millions, god dang it, you already know Scary Terry, for example, you already know you're about 30 and you already know that they question your age.
But
Why are
Terry-
you trying to get...
But Terry's produced,
Why,
and that's the
yes,
thing.
he has, and I'm
That's-
agreeing with you,
that's-
though, but
he's produced.
when you, before
But
you was
he's
in
not-
the NFL, you weren't making nothing. You know what I'm
But
saying? You're
he's
still
not,
making
but
a
the thing
lot of...
was Terry McLaurin, he's not asking for top dollar.
$30 million. He doesn't even... I only think he probably does... He wants more than 30,
CeeDee
but $30
Lamb's
million
getting paid
is a
like
lot.
35, isn't he? Like he's
Yeah.
not. He's not asking.
CeeDee Lamb is better than Scary Terry, though.
Absolutely, and Terry understands that. What Terry's trying to say is like, hey, I'm about to turn 31 years old. I've been nothing but perfect to y'all. I've been through all three name changes, by the way, when they went from the Redskins to the football team to the Communists. Now, it's just it's just what it is.
When
I
he's
mean,
produced.
Yeah,
that's the
like
thing.
exactly.
He's
Yes,
produced. He's
yes.
produced, and he came in as an older rookie.
Either way,
He
let's
came
be
in as
realistic.
an older rookie. If you came in here and you produced, like Trey Hendrickson, like when he first signed with the Bengals, he only had one good year in New Orleans. Every time after that, he's practice squad player and all this, and he finally got it, understood, he broke out, signed that contract with the Bengals, and then his agent gave him some bad advice to sign 2 contract extensions. But really, if he could have just signed another 4-year deal, the Bengals wouldn't be in this predicament.
Is $30 million really different from $33
Well, the
million?
Bengals-
No, it's not. But that's the problem though, is that the Commanders don't really know if they even want to pay him. That's the thing. Is like, I mean, they don't even know if they really want to pay him. Like, if you just pay, Terry's just asking for 30, and that's it. Just pay him 30. 3 years, $30 million.
I agree
That's
with
it.
30. I
34,
think he wants
and,
like
then at
32,
and then at 34, if he's still catching 1,000-yard receivers, give him another 2-year extension. Make
You can
it
put some incentives.
33
You can put some
million
bonus, but
with incentives,
man,
because we all know quarterback market's going up. When Jaden Daniels' contract is up, it's going to be damn near $70 million.
That or CJ
Dak-
Stroud.
CJ Stroud's going to
Stroud's
get
gonna
64.
bankroll.
CJ Stroud's going to get 64.
They better do something this
Well,
year.
and with the
Yeah,
Bengals, I was gonna say we got to see this year though.
With the
boys,
Bengals,
pipe it down 1 second. I'm going to go check on those wings. We're getting close to the smoke hour with pipe down. The conversation continues.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
with the Bengals specifically, yes, you need to pay your guy, but they're also paying 3 guys on the same side of the ball $270 million.
Yeah, that's the problem, and that's probably why they haven't signed him. Is because they're like,
They have no
where are we
money.
supposed to get this money from?
They're going to
Which-
pay Trey and have nothing left.
As much as Jerry Jones drives me insane, he has always been really good at that.
Yeah.
He has always been
Yes.
the best in the league at restructuring deals he's already made,
kicking the can.
turning money into signing bonuses, kicking
It's
the
so
can down the
irritating.
road. And so It can be done, and it will not cripple the team entirely.
Yeah.
But he paid Jake Ferguson.
It will
He
get
played
done.
Osa Dugizua, which I like those
Yeah.
re-signings, but you can't re-sign those guys
And not pay money.
and this be looming.
Yeah.
You have to get that figured out first,
Yeah.
and then see what's in the pie that I can get.
That's why I feel like they just stirred the pot with the Jake Ferguson signing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was just to piss Micah off.
Restructure.
Anything.
Just restructure one of these big contracts.
Yeah.
Give him, a bonus or a sign, or not a sign, but a bonus of some sort that takes away that salary cap hit from this year,
Yeah.
and sign the guy.
Well, and what I don't understand is they literally did restructure Dak and CD's contracts this offseason.
Yeah, they did exactly.
And they still haven't even. Like, what are you doing with it?
It's,
They're not even.
It's a power thing.
Look.
It's just on my time we gonna do it when
yeah,
I want to do it.
that he's been
That's
that
it.
way. Hello, Jimmy Johnson. Like
Yeah.
he's been that way since he fired Tom Landry.
Man, he knows what he did with Jimmy Johnson. too.
Okay. Oh, everybody knows. It's not
He
a
knows,
secret.
Yeah.
I heard something. I was telling it was Mark Schlereth, I think, on a show, on like a podcast show or something like that, and he said it made me very sad. And I showed it to Graham, and he's like, "That is so true." And the thing he said was, the Cowboys are the Jacksonville Jaguars
With better branding.
with better marketing,
Not wrong.
and it's like,
I can see.
oh, that's so depressing.
Ugh.
The only difference is we have
It's
a
so
higher
nasty.
level of talent across the team that we can get in the playoffs, and then it's done.
Yeah.
It's like we give you just a taste of thing. Never mind.
Well, why?
We're gonna keep you holding on. And with regarding this whole Micah situation, I've bet people ask me. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a little kid. Right? Triplets. Grew up in the '90s. Watched the Super Bowls. Like go into the rough years of the early 2000s with Quincy Carter, and then you get on down the road to some of these other guys like T.J. Duckett, and you've got some good players on the team and stuff, but we're just not doing what we could. That's when Dominic Nabb's having a resurgence for the Eagles. The Giants had some good years in there too. So I've been through the roller coaster multiple times.
Oh, that's nice. At least one of y'all got to see a Super Bowl.
But I'm getting really fed up with this Mikey situation, and I never thought that I would say this, and my wife makes a joke. I'll tell you all about it after I say this.
gosh.
So I don't know if I can stay. I don't know if I can stay if
A
we
Cowboy
don't get
fan?
if we don't get the Micah deal done.
See, I ain't never going to. I don't care.
I think ultimately Micah's going to get paid. I don't think he's getting traded.
I went
I don't
this
think he
far.
ends up walking. That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna
I've
be
been
the same
through a
thing
lot.
like he did with
Eventually, the toxic relationship I was talking about,
No,
you got to walk
bro.
away from.
Yes,
Okay.
man. I understand it. But
So my wife's joke is, when she heard me say that, she goes, "That's not good." I was like, "I thought you hated how up and down I had been with the Cowboys." She goes, "Yeah, but I've always told everybody that if you can remain loyal to them, you're gonna definitely remain loyal to me."
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
off the
yeah,
table.
yeah,
This
yeah,
did
yeah.
not. This might be bad, And it's just, if it was somebody who's like a top 10 edge rusher in the league, and I love him, and he's a good teammate and all that, you're talking about a generational talent. That is what 25 years old, 24 years old.
Someone compared Lawrence Taylor.
That's
kinda
been the beginning.
Rookie year.
That's what I'm saying.
Since the beginning.
That's what I believe. I've told him this since he came in as a rookie. I want to see the day, and it'll never happen because it's the NFL. You might
Wait,
see
what's
this
up?
happen in college football.
What's up?
I want to see the day where, in one game, Micah Parsons lines up at all 11 spots on the field and makes a play. Because I believe he can do it. He's a good enough athlete to go, not all game, he's a good enough athlete to go out there as a corner and lock somebody down.
Snap it. corner,
For one
snap
play
that
for sure.
linebacker.
Yeah.
For
He's
one
good
play for
enough
sure.
to be a safety because he's fast enough to be over the top and pick the ball up. He's obviously good enough as a linebacker and all along the defensive line. I would love to see it. You're never going to, but
Don't
Like-
mean to interrupt the conversation, boys, but the smoke hour has eventually happened. Today, for our audience watching, Go Away Fly, we have some grilled chicken wings to a crisp. Absolutely fantastic. Had a little bitty one before I ate it. Boys, there is more wings coming the way. As the conversation continues on Pipe Down, boys, enjoy the wings. Tell me how they are. And we'll go from there.
Platos.
there's just not people
Okay.
like that in the league.
He's transcendent.
That's exactly. He's transcendent, man. Like,
Is it good, John?
and
It's good.
the podcast
It's good.
that he has frustrates me.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm not a big
But we keep talking about the landscape of sports changing with college and all that mess. That's what pros are doing. That's what pros are doing. So either like, I don't have to like it as a fan, but if that's anything that's bothering owners, they're gonna have to get over it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna change. They're not gonna not do what they want to do as long as they're not jeopardizing the code of conduct in whatever league they're in and potential, suspensions or anything like that. They're gonna do those podcasts. They're gonna do the commercials. They're gonna do the endorsement deals. They're gonna do all that because why? Because welcome to 2025 in the United States of America, where everything is about self-promotion, man. Everything is about building your own brand.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that goes, and so that's why these college kids are the way they are to a point, because they're about building their own brand. You got a lot of them buying into programs that they're going to stick it out. They're going to wait their turn. But a lot of them aren't, because they know that at the next level, you may wear a star on your helmet. You may have the eagle wings, but it's still about you.
And that's why I kind of partially, my bad, but that's why I kind of partially agree, because I said I didn't agree with, I thought football, NCAA was going to adapt football-wise. But I can see what y'all saying with that part, because, damn, I just lost the damn chicken. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
There are changes inevitable, right? Sometimes the change is for the good, sometimes it's for the bad. And you don't know until you're 20 years down the road and you're looking back at what screwed things up, right?
It was going to make players, football's a team sport.
Yeah.
Now they're playing individual for themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, it's taking away the team aspect of it, so that's the only way I can really see NCAA football dying out.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's just, but you also look at, like, just people in general nowadays, right?
Mhm.
Take sports out of it.
Right.
Everybody's out for themselves, man. Who holds the door for people anymore?
Nobody.
You know what? But how many? Yeah. Thankfully, I'm passing along to mine. But how many times you walk? And yeah, let's forget automatic doors. How many times you walk up on something, and people are letting doors slam in the face of a 60,
child.
70, 80-year-old woman or a little kid that's strong enough to, like, and that's small, but that has spread out across everything. Well, you think it's not going to touch sports?
Right.
You think it's not going to have an impact on these? Because these are the kids of the generation coming up, playing the sports we love to watch, the teams we love to support. And so it's going to have that impact, and it's going to keep spilling until somebody makes a change in society, right? Because they're these star-studded elite, looked up to.
Thank you very much.
They're the people that are they're famous, right? So until you change from the bottom up, the famous definitely aren't going to be the ones to start the trend.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just going to keep rolling. They're going to be good with how they are because they're making money and everybody knows their name and they made it and all this mess. So you gotta do something. But with regard to the contracts, man, I know it's every owner's different. All the GMs work differently. Some people are more experienced and know what they're doing. Some people are babies and are stupid and have no clue. But these players, man, like Micah, like Terry, like Trey, they are very critical pieces to your organization as it currently stands. And let's talk about the three. The Cowboys have a good enough team to win a Super Bowl, talent-wise. They do. On paper. Okay? They've got a talented quarterback. People crap on Dak all the time. I love telling this story because I go back to my older brother. When that draft happened, I was like, there was rumors that the Cowboys might trade up to get Wentz or Goff. And I was like, I don't want that. I don't think there's a quarterback worth a first-round pick in this year's draft. And they're like, well, you need a quarterback because Tony's broken and his career's coming to an end. It's obvious. I'm like, you're right. And I want to draft Dak Prescott in the 4th round. So I've been a Dak Prescott guy since before he was a Cowboy. I love Dak Prescott. He's had really bad years. Not really bad, but he's had years where he has disappointed us. Okay? But the man is on the precipice of passing every quarterback in the history of the franchise statistically.
Well, just like I said on the last show, I'm critical of Dak. Obviously, you know, everybody's going to have their critiques and everything about Dak, but when it comes to having a quarterback that consistently has been there every year, I would much rather have Dak Prescott than be in the quarterback carousel.
Absolutely.
A lot of these,
Absolutely.
A lot of these other teams.
That can torch. You can waste so much other team talent with a quarterback that can't get the job done, or 17 quarterbacks. Thank you Browns. Thank you Broncos.
Exactly.
Like that. That is a real thing. And you can say, well, there's new ones coming out every year and from college. Okay,
They're from,
but I don't care if they're first round pick or seventh round pick. I'm taking Brock Purdy over Caleb Williams right now.
Yeah,
Mr. Irrelevant versus number one.
exactly.
I told Kyle when the draft happened, Caleb Williams, by the time he's finished, will be a bust. Will he have good years?
I
Maybe.
bet that he was going to be.
Maybe. But I don't think Caleb Williams is going to be a long-term starter in the NFL. I don't think he will.
I don't think.
I said Jaden Daniels. Do that every time. Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback prospect, and it's not close last year. And what did he do? Slung it. So maybe he changes it. I don't know. We'll see. You know, but you can't rely on that because a lot of these guys, yeah, maybe they work out, but maybe they come up and they have a weak knee you didn't know about. So 3 years in, holy crap, our franchise guy is never going to play again. You're starting over again, bud. Dak Prescott's had some bad injuries, but he has come back and he has taken care of business. And should have won the MVP 2 years ago.
Yep.
Okay? The reason he didn't is because he wears a star on his helmet, because the media doesn't want the Cowboys to have that.
If
Okay?
Dak can play at that MVP level again, I will have so much more faith than I currently do.
Yeah. I'm not saying the doubts aren't founded. Like, it's fair.
No. I know you're not.
Yeah.
I was just
Like,
saying.
there's plenty of people that say, like, I think I'm off of Dak.
I love that
But-
person.
Yeah,
I do love
and
that.
he's a great man. Like, that dude is
He's
great
an even
man.
better person. Yes,
He is
for
a
sure.
Walter Payton, not candidate.
No, he
Actually
won it.
won the award. Okay, and he gets booed by his fans. That pisses me off. He's also stuck around, played through injuries, played through, you know, Jerry
off his
cuts
bone in his
Jerry cuts
hamstring.
Dez. Jerry cuts Dez, and what did we do? Nothing. Eventually, we trade for Amari Cooper, right? But we had that stretch where, like, hey Dak, this is your show. Cool. What do you got for me? A paper bag and a trash can lid. Okay, and he still went out there. He didn't complain. He doesn't throw his teammates under the bus. He doesn't talk shit about his coaches. He doesn't talk bad about Jerry. Like, the man is a consummate professional. I would much rather have Dak Prescott than half the quarterbacks in the league. Maybe
He don't talk shit about Jerry, but he definitely has made it known that Jerry,
Well, yeah.
I don't give a damn what you talk about, what you say. I'm not listening to none of this shit.
right. But
Which
but
is
he's earned it.
respectable.
But he's earned it.
No, for
Like,
sure.
He's put himself in a position to be that.
He drives the boat, for sure.
That's right.
He drives the
You
boat.
know, so you just you look at some of these situations as it pertains to the contracts, and you look at the Bengals, right? They're in the middle of the best franchise quarterback they've ever had. And I love Boomer Esiason, and Andy Dalton was fine. Joe Burrow is a top 3 quarterback talent-wise in the NFL. They've got the best 1-2 punch at receiver. Still trying to figure out a running game. Hopefully my boy Taj from Tech can give him a spark. Not that I'm a Bengals fan, but I want to see that kid succeed because he's a great dude too.
Yeah.
They don't have an offensive line. Their defense is horrible. Like, I know they're paying, what was it, $270 million for
Burrow,
for
Higgins,
T.
and Chase
Yeah.
gets $275 million.
Yeah. I get it, but a team is not 3 people. It will not work. But you have a quarterback who is capable of winning you a Super Bowl, and being the guy.
took them to the Super Bowl
Yeah,
already.
and being the guy that's the driving factor. There's plenty of quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls. They didn't have shit to do with it, right? Let's talk about Trent Dilfer. Little sidebar. 2000 Ravens. The defense scored, on average, more points than the offense in the entire season. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl ring. Was it because of what Trent Dilfer did? No, it's because of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all these monsters on the other side of the football. Shannon Sharp had Shannon Sharp is even said, he's like, you know, we had that year and I'd make like one play a game. It was a big one. I'd make like one play a game because they just weren't an offensive team, and that's fine. But when you have a quarterback that can put the team on his back, take you to the Lombardi Trophy, you do whatever it takes to keep pieces around, whether it's on the defensive side or the offensive side of the ball, to get to the Lombardi. They got a taste of it. You didn't bring it home. Maybe you just wanted to lick it.
Right.
I don't want to actually have it in case,
Right.
And so that's the situation there. That's a player you have to sign.
The Eagles are a perfect example. They paid pretty much
They do
everybody.
what they need to do.
Yeah,
And they
every
Roseman
time.
is a genius.
And they just re-signed Saquon.
Yep.
So and they just won a Super Bowl.
Early as
And they were in the Super Bowl less than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like it can be done. It's just like they put out a blueprint to be successful, and it just seems like everybody. And now it probably comes down to ego and everything. It just like if you look at what the Eagles have done and how successful they have been, that's a perfect blueprint.
Yeah.
Offensive line, defensive line need to
Trenches
be
for sure. That's how you win in the NFL.
staggering. They need to be good. That's how you're going to win.
Tell you what,
You need a decent running back. Saquon is, like we talked about earlier, that transcendent guy. He jumped over a dude backwards.
Crazy.
Saquon is
Yeah,
that guy.
Probably the coolest Madden cover ever. I've been playing the Madden game, and like this is the first scene of him doing this. It's
Like,
the coolest
what
thing
went
ever.
through his head before he did that? And
Well,
just,
he just said he just did it.
Yeah,
like
I
that
was
was
about to
it.
say,
Like
it's
he
just
wasn't.
like-
He just did. What he said was he knew he didn't want to get hit in the back, so he was like, it's like when he spun, he was like, I just know there's someone behind me. He just did it.
I'm just
like,
gonna
out of
he
reaction.
was in. It's
just
like
natural
mid-spin,
instinct. Just
I gotta jump.
Yeah,
Ultra
exactly.
instinct.
jump and turn around. Like that's
Yeah.
so.
But
Wow. I've done a lot of things as a football player myself, man. Never have I ever just naturally turn around and hurdle somebody
Well,
like that.
I was an offensive lineman. If we left our feet, it was not a good thing. Very
Yeah.
bad.
That was-
Yeah.
I got a few
Boys,
hurdles
what
on
did
my-
we-
on
what did we
myself.
think of the
That's
league?
so
What
What are
crazy.
you doing right here, Sawyer?
I thought
Why are your feet off the ground?
What?
I thought they were great.
Your thought were great,
Yeah.
boys. Wings,
Oh.
opinions, thoughts,
Good, brother.
concerns. Good.
I just
I've
had
been
my
too busy
last
talking
one. I had a
about that.
small one. Oh, it was the little, like, you can say it was on that side longer. I love when they crispy like that. Oh, bro, it was perfect.
Wow,
Yeah,
your
Robert.
opinion of the week.
I haven't
He
eaten
hasn't
yet.
had
I have to
one.
Stop talking.
Eat some.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Boys, good job on the contracts. Let's move on to the quarterback competitions a little bit. Across two horrific ones across the league. Both in the AFC, bottom feeder, trash, pony teams that are
Broncos?
No, we have a quarterback. Big Knicks. I am a Bo-nerd, is what I am.
no.
That's what I
You
am.
need to say how you said it last show.
I'm a Bo-nerd.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said that last show. I was like, dude,
That's
what we're called.
we need to step away from that and find something else.
Yoinks.
Kyle, how many of these did you say we can have each?
You have as many as you want. I got more on the
Keep
grill.
eating. He's got more coming.
I got more on
Okay,
the grill
cool.
right now. Keep on coming, boys. Keep on coming.
This is a growing
Boys.
boy.
This is a grown.
I'm a growing boy.
He is going to be the starting safety at Liberty Hill one day, all right? All right. All right, boys. Let's talk about a little bit of these quarterbacks, and then we're going to get on to our main topic, our predictions for the NFC. But first, we got to talk about Anthony Richardson and the Colts. It's over. I think it's over. They need to move off him. They drafted him as a project. I still don't know how Chris Ballard still has a job with the Colts, honestly. I mean, I know Jim Irsay passed away. Rest in peace, Mr. Irsay. Hope you're living it up in heaven.
If you look enough like Cam Newton, you can get drafted.
Dude, that's the thing. It's like I don't
He
understand.
did not look enough like Cam Newton.
Yeah, I don't understand. He only had
Physique-wise.
he had a total of 13 college starts,
Seen a
went
beauty
6 and
contest
6. Just not. I don't get it. It's
He's been
over.
hurt, like every year that he's been drafted.
How about this?
He's only played in high school. I read a crazy stat that from high school through college, he's only played a total of like 150 like snaps or not snaps. Excuse me. No
Quarters or something.
quarters. Yeah, it was some like
What they need
wild
to
stuff.
do-
He's
they
only
are.
he's only had 2 like full seasons of football that he's actually played on the field. Like,
What they
it's
need to do
insane.
is-
How did he go number 4?
what they need, because he's a
His long jump was
He
so
is,
long.
He is a freak, but
What
like,
they need to
that
do-
can only get
He's just a freakish
so
athlete.
much.
That's it.
They need
That's
to
why they
take him out of the quarterback position. They need to put him at like a tight end or even a receiver, and they need to, if they want to use him in any way, it's not going to be quarterback. He can't stay healthy, and he's too much of an athlete to just cut. So either tight end or wide receiver.
Well,
I think Kurt Warner was one to say, or Steve Young said he should probably play tight end.
Probably perfect.
I mean, dude, like,
Was he
we-
like
dude,
6'4", 6'5"?
dude, he's
6'4",
6'4", 255
Okay.
pounds.
yeah.
But let me ask you this: in today's NFL, if you can't stay healthy as a quarterback,
You can't stay
how are you going to
anywhere.
stay healthy as a tight end?
I mean,
Well,
maybe it's a
good
different.
question.
I mean, maybe
He may
because
be an elite
He's got a
athlete.
block. He's got a block too.
If
You got
you
a
think
block
about
too.
it,
tight end.
You got to care.
You got a
Oh,
block.
that's another thing. Let's talk
You got
about
a
that, Coach. I'm a starting quarterback. I'm tired. Take me out.
Give me out.
I would have cut ties with you after that game. I don't care what we've invested in
You
you.
can't do that. Not
I
in
sure as
NFL.
hell can.
In college, you can.
I sure
would
as hell
say
can.
NFL.
Y'all are paying Russell Wilson what, $25 million right now, and he ain't on your team.
Don't bring that up.
Well, I'm just
Continue
saying,
on that
you can
conversation.
cut ties with anybody you want whenever you want. You may pay a price for it.
His name shall not be spoken for the rest of the time the show is here.
Well, good luck, because
It's gonna happen.
he's still playing.
You got what?
Not for long. Jackson Dart. Oh, Jackson Dart.
Look it up.
What's
Baller.
all
Jackson Dart baller.
It's preseason.
Baller.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Preseason.
Yeah, I
Again,
know,
again,
dude.
I don't wanna
I
discredit-
know it's preseason.
He
but
balled
bro,
out.
You,
He
dude,
balled
you
out
come out
regardless.
the gate in your first NFL game.
Okay.
You're going. I know, but he's going against veteran players.
Jitters, all
as
kinds of
backups.
stuff.
That dude went out there and just slung it. Like I'm
Preseason.
on a rookie standpoint.
He looked comfortable.
But for a rookie standpoint, I'll take preseason things for rookies because it's their first time playing in any sort of NFL game. Now veterans
You're
are
also
other hand,
playing against other rookies too.
well, no, you're also playing up against like 5-year NFL.
Yeah, but
veterans
you're not
as
playing
well.
against T.J. Watt or Michael Parsons.
Right, I know, but a 5-year NFL veteran defensive tackle is going to be better than a first time starting rookie quarterback. That defensive tackle knows more football than what that kid's got to learn first. That's why I'm saying, like, on a veteran aspect, like the Lions came out and they poo-pooed on the first game of the year, right? Like they totally poo-pooed.
That don't matter.
And it don't matter because they're full of veterans, but their rookies look actually pretty decent. It's the older veterans that are like kind of leading the way, but the rookies look good. Preseason's meant for the rookies. So to me, in NFL preseason, if you come out as a rookie and you actually look good, you're maintaining the pocket because what you're playing with is the backups because you are going to be the backup. The more that you're playing with the backups and everything, the more likely you're going to get hit, the more likely you're going to get chopped on, all these different things. So if you come out as a rookie in the preseason and look good, I think that means a lot on a rookie standpoint. Now for a veteran, like it doesn't really matter because they are already in the mindset of like those year 2 players. They're in the mindset of like, oh, like this really doesn't matter. Like when I was a rookie last year or 5 years ago, like preseason mattered because I was trying to make my mark. So all these rookies out here trying to make their mark and everything makes like total sense. But the thing is, when you come back to Anthony Richardson, I don't think he played in the preseason. This might be his second preseason year. His first year, I don't think he played preseason. Now, the first 2 games he looked good because no one knew what to do.
Well,
Like,
even
how to
even when they
manage it.
first started training camp, they were already talking about shoulder tightness with that shoulder that he had an injury on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they said it was fine. And then he goes and plays in the preseason, the first
What's up,
preseason.
buddy?
Wings are amazing.
Wings are amazing.
Yeah,
Wings are good.
I didn't put it in earlier. Wings are solid.
Okay.
Continue.
And then he plays the first preseason game and he gets hurt already. So it's like, this is what, year 3 for him now? And it's been the same thing every year.
It's
It's
definitely a
been
pattern.
3 years. That's another thing too. Like, he's gotten bench. He's gotten
Enough of that.
Hold on,
Exactly.
No free ads.
Oh, my
No,
fault.
No free ads. It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, DP.
Sorry. Sponsor us, Dr. Pepper. We love it. And HEB.
My hand
I
uncovered.
saw a cool YouTube. I
If we
saw.
get sponsored, I'll come dressed as a Dr. Pepper can.
Oh, by the way, no better time to do this on the camera. We will have a Halloween episode. You must dress up. We will have a Halloween.
Can I
episode.
dress as Mr. Invisible Man?
You can do that.
No.
No.
Not be
Not
here.
be here.
No, he'd be like Sheldon when he had the TV screen and the shirt like hanging off it, just like operating around
Oh,
like a
yeah.
computer. Yeah, you can do that. But Yeah, anyway, let's get back on topic here. This is the Pipe Down Show. Thank you all again for tuning in and watching us. We really appreciate it. This is our first video show, so again, like it says on our YouTube tag, give us some grace. We're trying.
Go hardcore.
We're working.
We are working on getting better
Yes.
microphones and better equipment.
So if this sounds like poo-poo, just click on it, watch it for like 3 seconds, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
They'll work
But-
on rooting for better teams.
The thing is, people were doing this for fun, and guys, I think it's about time to get into our main topic as we are closing down that segment of Pipe Down. Good job, boys. Good job. Good debates. Good wings. We got more wings coming on the way. I screwed up. I should have had a season beforehand, but an 8-month-old, as I'm finding out, kids do change your lives and wreck your plan for the better. Kids wreck your plan for the better. I want to make that out there. Boys, NFC predictions time. I'm excited about this. There's so many good teams coming out of the NFC this year. I think it's going to be stacked. I think we're going to be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah,
on
it'll be
this.
alright.
Boys, who would like to go first? Graham, the man from Liberty Hill High School, is going first. Weighing in at like $125.
Like 45.
So just
He
before
weighs
I
as much
start,
as do,
I wanna
right?
ask-
As much as I do.
Are we doing like?
We're going through each division. We're going to pick 1 through
East,
4.
North, South.
Yeah.
Do you? What? But what I'm saying is, do you want me to like do the East and then you do the East and you do the
Well,
East?
yeah, we're all going to do like, if we select this is good for the show, by the way, we're keeping this in because we are the realest show. So this is what debates are. So if we start off with the West, we're all going to do the West. We're going to do the East. We do the East, and we're going on so forth.
So I'm gonna start with one division.
Okay, yes. We'll do the NFC East last because
Majority Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
You know it.
Fucking losers. This show is PG-13, rated by YouTube. Graham,
Choose
How
North,
about-
South, or West.
South, West, or North. We're gonna save the East for the last. Which one would you like to go first with?
I'm gonna start with the South because I think it's the easiest one.
NFC South. We're starting with Graham. Walk us through 1 through 4. Who do you think's coming in first? Who do you think's coming in fourth? And why do you think? In a little brief term, why do you think why each team's gonna be the place they're gonna be at the end of the year?
So pretty easily, I have the Bucks winning it for like the 5th or 6th year in a row.
Be number 5.
Just because I do think Baker has strongly developed in Tampa Bay. I think he's developed a culture and he's done a good job following up Tom Brady. He's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Now he's got Bucky Irving. He's got one of the top tackles in the league, and Tristan Wirfs, a good defense. I have
Solid O.
solid O.
18.
Good head coach. I think the Bucks are going to pretty easily win the division again. I just think it's theirs to lose.
For sure.
Now
For
we got to
sure.
remember Tristan Wirfs is not going to play at all this preseason. He did sustain an injury back in June, and they're still kind of wondering if they don't even know he's going to play week 1. But good point. Graham, your next 3 teams, please.
Number 2, I think it'll be the Falcons, just because I think on paper the Falcons could be just as talented as the Bucks in certain areas, but I think I don't know how Penix is going to do in his first full year of actually starting. Everybody keeps waiting for that Pitts breakout year, and it just doesn't happen. Bijan's like the biggest bright light they have. Bijan.
It is Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson. I think he's a top 3, top 4 running back in the league. I think he's gonna just keep on taking over that offense.
As he should.
I feel like their defense has a lot to be seen because they had negative pass rush last year, and they had on paper the best safety duo in the league in Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates, and they weren't as impressive as they probably should have been.
Justin Simmons, Bronco, great. Miss you, bud.
So
He was a dangerous catch.
Bucks Falcons.
He really was.
I have the Bucks winning it, and then I have the Falcons going to.
Okay.
Shout out Casey Washington.
And
He's a
then
wide receiver.
And then for number 3, I have the Panthers.
Okay.
Because I think Bryce Young, after getting benched last year, had the best comeback off the bench that he could have possibly had in that system. I think Teterow at McMillan is going to make a difference. I think they upgraded that defense. And honestly, the only reason I don't have them placing dead last is because I think the Saints are going to be like one of the worst teams in the entire league.
Yeah,
They will be top 3.
I think we all
That's what
have
we
the
like.
same NFC South
I would-
prediction.
I would say the same thing.
lineup.
That's my same exact line.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
mine.
the
To the
only
T.
thing, the only thing I kind of want to switch up is I have a little bit more faith in the Panthers. Like I have the Bucks. The Bucks' ceiling to me is 12-5. Ceiling wise, their schedule is not the most difficult, but
What's
it's
the
also
low?
not the.
Oh yeah, for the record, I haven't done like record predictions.
We're not.
This
No,
is,
no,
Well, I got
there's
you.
there's no record predictions in this. I'm just saying, like when it comes to like their ceiling, like their floor is missing the playoffs for sure. Like if they screw around like they almost did last year
Well,
and get caught by the Falcons,
because
then-
Baker, they had like an 0-4 run last year where Baker like led the league in picks, and they lost Chris Godwin for the year.
and
They lost Chris
well,
Godwin
they
and
lost,
Mike
they
Evans
lost,
in one
they
game.
lost Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and then that's when the young receivers had stepped up. And Baker was still cooking. Like the only reason why he had those interceptions, you go back and watch some of those highlights. Most of those passes were just off the hands, just bounce off chest, and then the defenders.
Oh, and I believe
it at the right time.
And they just quickly on the Bucks, they already have like a top 5, top 6 wide receiver duo in the league, and on top of that, they spent their first round pick on a rookie wide receiver this year. So their weapons.
That's where I think that was where Chris. I mean, I think if anything, this might be Chris Godwin's way out, and they don't know at the same time though how
They
long
almost
it's-
didn't pay him, right? They almost didn't pay Chris this year.
They almost didn't know, but you get yelled at by it?
No.
So we all kind of came to agreements, Josh, while you were gone. Graham, he pretty much laid out all of our stuff. Bucks first, Falcons second, Panthers third, Saints fourth. I think I have like the Panthers and the Falcons. I have them both going 9-8 and like tying, like somewhere between there, like 9-8, 7-10 for both of them tying, and the Saints. I think the Saints are gonna have the first pick in the draft. I mean, unintentionally too. I don't think they're purposely tanking it because the Saints don't purposely tank. They just pay people to hit the tankers.
Do y'all think the Falcons have if like let's just say, not saying he will, but if Michael Penix goes out there and he just craps the bed, do you think that they'll bring Kirk back in to start coming?
I mean, they got to, right? They're paying him.
But like you
45
already
this
said
year.
last year that like you're kind of kicking Kirk to the curb. So it's like, are you gonna bring him back in because the guy you decided to go ahead and start over the guy that you paid all that money to
I mean,
is doing bad?
I'm not saying like they're different organizations, so I can't speak as if they're the same. But Bryce Young had just 3 or 4 horrible weeks to open last season, and then they brought Andy Dalton in. Well, it's like if Michael Penix goes out and does the same thing, maybe a little bit better, a little bit worse, and you're paying your backup quarterback like $45 million
But
a year.
That's the difference right there. Is with the Panthers, Andy Dalton was not paid to come be a starter. Bryce Young was their starter, and he was the young guy. They paid Kirk to come and be their starter, and then drafted a quarterback first round the same year that they paid the guy that they paid to come be a starter.
So stupid, by the way.
It's like
It was just really bad
how
GM work.
like either way. Now I'm hoping that this situation doesn't occur. Michael Penix has a breakout year or whatever. But the question arises, like, if he doesn't, are you going to bring Kirk back in after you've already made the decision to sit him?
I think
For
Kirk
the other
Cousins
guy?
sees the field if Penix gets hurt.
He would
Yeah,
have to.
exactly.
I don't think he sees the field if Penix is playing bad.
So
I think.
Oh, I see.
And I
what
may
you're
be
saying.
wrong.
I see what you're saying.
But if Penix is out there and he has some bad games, he
Kirk
goes
has
through
to come in if Penix is hurt. That's
Yeah.
the only way.
And with Penix, there's a history there of
Yeah.
injury. That dude was scary at Indiana. Then he blew out his knee, and then he blew out his other knee.
yeah, I was about to say
Like-
open.
I was watching. I just saw a clip of him against Penn State back when he was at Indiana, and they upset Penn State. And I was just like, look at how he moves compared to now.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. And so, is he going to get hurt? I don't know. I hope he doesn't. I don't hope.
Right.
I don't. As much
Which I
even
don't
even
know
when I
about
can't
it, yeah.
stand players, I hope they don't get hurt.
Right.
I'm not that person. I don't think Kirk Cousins sees the field except Penix's injury. That
makes
what
the most sense because if you
you pull Penix out and you put Kirk in, and just because
you're going to lose
playing
the
like
locker
crap
room at that point too.
Well, what are you about to do to the future's confidence? You're about to torch Penix. Now I'm not saying he can't bounce back from it. He had a long college career dealing with injuries, coming back and all that. But you can't do that in the NFL.
Yeah. I think we should move on to a different East South.
I do
It's been like 10 minutes on.
I agree. I do just real quick on the Saints just because I want to get it in. I think, just as Tech guys, we watched Tyler Shuck play in the Jones, and he is one of the most painful quarterbacks I've ever watched in person. So for him to go second round and probably be the Saints starter this year, I think it's absolutely blasphemous, and I think the Saints are going to be.
I don't think they have a choice. Who's their backup?
Spencer Rattler. They're choosing between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. I don't know how much worse he can get.
And China Teacup, Tyler Shuck.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Chris, who do you want to move forward on?
We can go to the West.
West.
It's almost 2:00 too.
Okay.
So let's kind of get it going.
For the West, I guess it's a little bit of toss up. Top two definitely are going to be for me Rams and Niners. I would have to say I feel like Rams would end up 1, Niners going at 2. And I'm not sure about the Seahawks with Sam Darnold and everything. I would have them at 3 in the Cardinals 4. So Rams 1, Niners 2, Seahawks 3, Cardinals at 4.
I think that's pretty spot on.
Yes.
That's about where I'm at.
There's some dependencies there, right?
Yeah.
So Stafford gets hurt, that's going to change.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Stafford plays a full season. The Rams win the West. I don't think there's. And then the other part of that contingency is, what are the 49ers this year?
Yeah. They're going to be stout defensively. Alfred Collins against the Broncos last night made some.
I'm not arguing that fact. I'm not saying they don't still have great talent over there. They lost a lot that was established on that defense in free agency.
Right. They had to pay Brock Purdy. Did y'all go over who y'all have winning the West?
Yes.
Pretty
much
all.
all. If the rosters stay healthy, it's Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals.
No, I have Niners, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals in a tight division. I mean,
there's a lot of people on the Niners defense that are out and questionable right now, so that's why I got the Niners in the division.
I love Matthew Stafford. This back tightness thing, and it turned out it's a little bit of a spinal injury. It's kind of not. I'm a little worried about it. At a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably at like a 9. Like if Stafford came in and he was playing it all the time, I'd have the Rams winning. But I'm just assuming with the way how the Niners. Well, I think the Niners are going to come back and do.
Well, it's the same thing with McCaffrey, because I love McCaffrey, but
that's my point.
It's that injury.
Is that if Stafford plays all year and can play at a Stafford level, I think the Rams are going to win the division. Their defense is young and solid. They've got Devontae Adams, who, yes, is past his prime, but even in these bad years with the Raiders and 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, he was still producing.
Yeah, and the thing is, too...
And he's not the main guy in that offense. It's Puka.
Just to touch on something real quick with the NFC South, as I was checking on the second batch of Pipe Down Wings presented by me, Kyle. With the Falcons and the quarterback situation with Kirk Cousins, I think an Achilles injury on an aging player like that is probably not a year anymore. It's probably more like 18 months to 2 years. Quick side note, Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, obviously, towards Achilles kind of ruined the season. They did ruin the season for them. So we don't. And the thing is, we don't really know what it could have been with the Jets. But you look at how the Jets finished off the year, and he was throwing consistently for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they were playing for nothing. So I think the thing with Kirk Cousins is if Michael Penix struggles, if Kirk Cousins is fully healthy, he'll probably win that job back. And it's not to diminish Michael Penix, but like in the NFL, you gotta go with the hot hand. And
Kirk Cousins is just old enough, and Michael Penix is just young enough for those if those roles flip flop each week, they'll be okay.
Penix isn't young.
No.
That's what I'm saying. He's young enough. If he was 31, you would have to start
What
Penix.
is he, like 27?
He's 26. He's fixing to turn 26. So,
But
no matter what, after this year with the Falcons, Michael Penix needs to be the starter. But anyway, let's get back on the West. The thing is, what did you guys have to say?
yeah, I was just gonna say on the West, I had the Rams. If Stafford stays healthy, I have them winning it. I have 49ers after them. 49ers, they pretty much wiped their whole defense besides Bosa.
Warner and Bosa.
Warner. Everybody else.
Whoops.
Was that such a hot take, bro?
No, I apologize.
But I've got.
I hit it too
If
hard.
Stafford stays
Those
healthy,
y'all listening, John just took a hit of his pod right there and almost died. I'm sorry, Jared,
Go
continue.
ahead, bro.
but yeah, if Stafford can stay healthy, I've got them winning that division just because their defense is the same as last year, and their defense last year was, with Jared Verse and all that, was pretty good. 49ers, their whole defense besides Warner and Bosa, everybody else is new.
Well, and the offense changed too, man.
Yeah,
Well,
they don't have
I know that
Eli Mitchell's gone. Debo's gone.
I understand y'all's. I
Trent
understand
Williams
y'all's
is broken.
concerns.
Well,
but
let me finish this real quick.
yeah,
So
go ahead.
but I've got the Cardinals and the Seahawks switching. I don't think Darnold is going to be the same as he was with the Vikings because you've got quarterback whisperer Kevin O'Connell over there who, took the astronaut and was having him, win games for him. So I've got the Cardinals over the Seahawks. And if Kyler Murray can stay healthy, I think they're going to be. Pretty
Do you
good.
think Marvin Harrison takes a step forward?
I think he will.
Oh, yeah,
he's
for
got
sure.
to.
For sure.
It's just it's his pedigree. His dad was a baller. He's going to take a step forward.
I mean, we have to remember too. Before Jeremiah Smith came along, he was considered the greatest Ohio State wide receiver. Now, Jeremiah Smith still has a ways to go. I mean, we all know
Jeremiah Smith is the most physically impressive wide receiver I've ever
and
seen.
he's 18, and he has the body of a 30-year-old Rick.
So big.
It doesn't make sense. But anyway,
Chargers.
Yeah.
Playing at such a high level. He's one of those guys. Sorry.
yes.
Bears, Lions.
He's one of those guys that, like Leonard Fournette, they're ready to play pro now. They shouldn't have to go. That's a whole other topic we could talk about maybe in the future. But
Oh, yeah, that's
next
not
Friday.
yeah, but like those kind of dudes, they need to have the opportunity if they want to go. If you bet on yourself and you lose, you lose. That's why it's called a bet.
Yeah.
But that dude should not be playing.
No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't go straight to the league. But yeah,
Sorry,
Texas.
my only thing is with the Niners, I know we're playing. If everyone's healthy, yes, I think the Rams win. We don't live in that world. I got Niners and the Rams. However, both of them do make
Ooh,
play.
You're
Niners.
wrong.
When they both, however, I think two teams come out of the West in the playoff, and I think it's going to be Rams and Niners. You can interchange them either way, but I think they're both going to come in as like the fourth seed, and they're going to have to travel on the road the rest of the way. But anyway,
And this is a big year for Brock Purdy, his first year after getting signed
After
to
the
a big
contract.
contract.
and after all his
And
injuries,
after
this
his
year, too.
injuries and everything, this is a big year for CD.
Well, his arm knife is gone.
Yeah.
McCaffrey's coming back from injury. I know he played towards the end of the year, but come on.
But he got
Well,
re-
he got-
Oh yeah, he got re-injured.
yeah,
That's
that
right.
knee injury.
So what's the
So
other?
Kittle's Kittle. Trent Williams is 1 foot in the
losing a
grave.
step. Yeah.
Like the offensive line isn't what it used to be.
Damn, that's brutal.
As an offensive lineman, you're 38 years old. I don't know how I sound on the field. Okay,
I know
so
he had cancer, but damn.
I wasn't even going that far. I just mean like in his career, offensive linemen don't play. Most of them don't play that long.
No.
That's a brutal run.
Well,
You know this, big boy.
I know my finger. That's why
Okay.
when I do the hook, that's why my finger only goes like this. I can't
It'd probably be
straight
easier for you to shoot one of these up, and it'd be not a problem. You know
go.
what I'm saying?
No,
It'd be better
no,
with
that's
this
how
one,
you-
actually.
No.
But I'm just saying, like the defense is half shredded.
So easy.
What McCaffrey are we getting? Ayuk is still he's messed up too, isn't he?
Too many
I think he's
questions.
coming off injury.
No, he's
Too many
Like, is
questions.
he good to go?
he suited up last night. He didn't play. I think it was just like if he wanted to go, he. I mean, it's preseason.
I
so,
think the division winner for the NFC West really comes down to two people.
Who stays healthy?
It comes down to the health of Matthew Stafford
Yep.
and the health of Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly.
If both of them get hurt, the division becomes more wide open.
No,
If
we're
both of
talking
them
about
play
it.
the whole
and
year,
that-
I think Stafford and the Rams win the division.
And
I
that's
think you're right.
that's
the
my-
Niners probably get in the playoffs.
That's my point, though. Is like it's just it's that division is so tight. I mean, because the Cardinals, the Seahawks went 10-7 last year. Like,
Yeah,
and
those
they
were
weren't they
Geno Smith.
weren't bad.
But
just
everything is completely swapped with them.
yeah.
It's
They
so
get a new
swapped
coach.
up.
They got a new quarterback.
New
They
wide
got new
receivers.
coaches. No, they got
DK and Lockett are gone. And you
And
say
they
what
brought
you
in
want about
Cooper
Lockett,
Kupp.
that dude was
Yeah, they do got
reliable
Cook.
and he was impactful.
And
I didn't say that he was
Smith-
a top 15
Yeah,
wide
Smith and
receiver, but he produced when he was on the field, and he made an impact in special teams.
And they got Ken Walker too.
They got a lot of
He's a
ball.
quarterback.
I mean, bottom line. I mean, the NFC West is probably going to be the second most tight North, except for this next division, boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say the North. That's
the
gonna be
North.
tight.
The
This is the
NFC
hardest
North
one for
is
me.
going to be.
I got-
difficult.
I got
John. Announce us who you think's
I
going
got
first.
Vikings, Packers, Lions, Bears.
What?
Whoa.
Vikings,
That's what I
Packers. You think the Lions coming third?
I don't
What?
think they're gonna be nothing.
I got Lions. And
I
Bears.
can kind of see it.
I-
You know,
I got Bengals.
Justin
Hold
Jefferson.
on.
Justin Jefferson's gonna run it.
Hey,
Justin Jefferson's
Whoa.
gonna run it. Jordan Love is. He's gonna lead the Packers to the playoffs. Lions. Ben Johnson's gone. I really feel like he ran that off. That offense.
I don't
I could
think-
be wrong. It could have been. It could be. What's his name? David Campbell.
Keep down a little bit. Forgot Baby's trying to see me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't think I see the Lions coming third.
Okay,
But they
or
did lose their-
second.
they
Lions
did-
will be second.
They did lose their offense and
I'm gonna stick with my first one.
Their biggest
Vikings,
piece in Aiden
Packers,
Hutchinson is
Lions,
coming off of a major
Massive
leg injury.
but it was early. It was early last year.
but it's
It
compared to-
turned into a spaghetti noodle.
Yeah.
I
I
understand.
feel like those
I'm not saying
three
it's not
years they were
significant.
getting
I'm
better
I'm
and
saying,
better.
like, at least it was early.
They were
Y'all
getting
are-
better and better in 3
y'all-
years. Now it's just over with. That Detroit run is gone. That's how I
I'm
feel like it's
saying
gonna
this right now.
Detroit's
If you think Detroit's going to third, you've lost your damn mind.
Bro,
That's
you
fine.
have to look at it realistically.
That's fine,
You can't
brother.
look- You can't
No,
look at it.
I'm not. I'm not.
That's fine,
Look
brother.
at it.
Guys,
That's fine. I will lose my mind, but we will see at the end of the next season.
we will.
And if I'm
that's
wrong,
why, and that's why
I will
this is so
own that I
fun.
was wrong.
Hold
But
on.
this is what this is
Yeah,
about.
I get where y'all are saying. Like, I really do. Like, okay, maybe
Think
out,
about
maybe
it
out,
logically.
maybe out of your mind is overdoing it a little bit.
I think Detroit's run
There's
is
no, unless Jared Goff and like, there's just injuries just everywhere, especially on the offensive
There was
side.
last year. Their
They
whole
went-
defense was
They
in
went
there.
15-2 last year with the banged up
With all
defense.
Yes. However, Aiden Hutchinson is coming
They
back
went
off of
8-0 on the road last year. Like,
They
what am I
lost
talking
their
about?
what was right now their center, right?
He
Yes,
retired.
That's
he
a big
retired.
loss.
That's a huge loss.
Yes.
Didn't they lost another offensive line?
I-
think
I'm
Zeidler.
basing it off of this
Zeidler.
season.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
maybe
Look.
I just have too much faith.
I'm basing it off of this season. Now, last season, I would say Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. But I'm basing it off the new season. Every season is just
I
blows
get
my
it.
mind.
I
So
do.
That's going to be my position.
I do, but like, and you said the Vikings are coming in first. I mean,
What do you
Yeah,
think
I'm
JJ
not-
McCarthy is
I'm
going
not
to
a
be?
JJ McCarthy guy.
I'm not either,
I'm
but
not-
I think, man, I think he's
John.
an athlete, brother.
Yeah,
He
I
gonna get it
and
done,
like
bro.
the what I don't doubt that he's like.
I feel like
I
he's
don't
been
want to talk
studying.
bad. Like,
He's
I don't
been
want to talk
practicing.
bad on. I don't want to talk bad on any player. I mean, this is a player positivity show. I mean, for sure. I mean, we understand what we're going.
Even if it ain't.
But
Throw him under the
I'm
bus.
just saying, like, the thing with McCarthy is like, dude, this dude sat on. It's good he sat on the bench all last year. Like, it's good for him to do that.
Develop.
This is his first year starting. Unless I have to see him to play. With the Lions, I know what Jared Goff can do. I know what Jameer Gibbs can do. David Montgomery. I've
Amon-Ra.
seen Amon-Ra St. Brown. I've seen Laporta. I've seen all the other weapons they've
But
had.
the offense can do.
And when their
What's the
defense,
defense gonna do?
when their defense was healthy, I know before week 8, that first 8 weeks, Aiden Hutchinson at the end of the season, we only played 6 games. Aiden Hutchinson only played 6 games. By the season ended, this dude was still top 10 in pressures, top 10 in pressure rate, top 10 in
Without their
sacks,
best rusher.
without their best rusher.
I get all of that.
Now they're getting that back. Granted, yes, he is coming off an injury where he's like a spaghetti noodle. That's hilarious. You said that because it means funny, but it's not. But to think that they're coming in third is just absurd to me. Like that's just absurd. Like no less than second. Like the way how I would have it, I have the Lions at
I
one.
said second too, but I'm gonna stick with my first.
I
said first,
I
I'm
think
gonna say 3.
I got Lions 1, Packers 2, Vikings 3, Bears 4. However, Bears and Vikings will tie with like an 8 and 9 record, and Caleb actually looks like Caleb Williams.
Nah.
I mean, it's just
Nah. Yeah,
You know the real
Nah.
part about it. I already told you before you got drafted. Caleb Williams is going to look like Caleb Williams. He's going to
It's
look
the
like he's
same
not the
thing
first
as-
overall pick.
It's like when he was in college, dude. Like he made those spectacular plays and stuff, scrambling and everything,
He's already-
doing all this out of pocket,
just happened.
He did all that
missed
stuff
the
perfect.
easy stuff.
But in the NFL, you've got to be able to do the easy stuff and on repeat with no
Wow.
qualms. And he
I
hasn't
already
shown.
added 4.
already. Oh,
He hasn't
y'all keep
shown
conversation.
even
I'm gonna
in
go check on these
college
wings.
that he can do that. The simple drop passes, the simple right across the middle in front of you. He hasn't off sequence. He is
Yes,
stellar.
he is
can
very
do those
good.
plays.
But that is not the majority of the
In the
NFL.
NFL, you're going to have to be able to do both. You've got guys that are 2 times faster than you on the defensive line that can chase you. You didn't have that in college. And what they go 8-5 is last year?
Something like that.
So it's not like their team was all that different with having him in college,
Right.
even though he was a stellar athlete. I don't think it's going to be much now. However, Ben Johnson draws it up, it could help, just like Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings. Like, however he draws it up, it could put those people in positions for him to be able to make those plays. But I agree with what both of you were saying. It's a hit or miss. Like this, I think that this division is probably the one that's in the air the most.
I was just going to say that, bro.
It's the
I
hardest one to
swear.
rank.
Exactly, because you've
This
got people.
is in the air. It's
Lions,
man.
you got the Lions. Yeah, they got Jared Goff, David Montgomery, Gibbs,
Gibbs,
and all that.
Monrod, J-Mo.
But they lost their offense coordinator and their defense coordinator. I have faith in MCDC. He's still the head coach there. But I just think that this division is probably the one that's most up in the air because you've got a whole bunch of questions on each team.
Sure.
Is Jordan Love going to take the next step? Is their receiving core going to take the next step? The Vikings, is J.J. McCarthy going to be a guy? We don't know. He was hurt last year, so he's coming off of an injury, off of his rookie season, and a pretty significant one at that.
Well,
too.
nobody even knew what kind of player he'd be if he was healthy. as a
Exactly.
rookie.
I think that, so real quick, Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears for me.
Same.
Okay? I hear what you're saying about losing Ben Johnson and losing Aaron Glenn. A response to that is this isn't college football. And Jared Goff is not a spring chicken. The dude is an established veteran quarterback. He doesn't need Ben Johnson. I'm not saying Ben Johnson didn't have a big play in helping him develop. Jared Goff is not a quarterback you're developing anymore.
No.
He is who he is.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra is who he is. Like the dudes on that offense, they are established NFL vets. You look around that team.
But they're not calling plays.
I understand
they're not
that.
delivering the plays.
I
They just answer
I
the plays
understand
that
that. I'm not saying it's not going to have an
second to.
impact. What I'm saying is that has a bigger impact when you've got a young offense, when you've got a second year quarterback,
Right.
like
I feel you.
like freaking Caleb Williams, right?
Right.
They should have fired Matt Eberflus before that pick was ever made.
Right.
That has an impact, a bigger impact than things like Johnson leaving the Lions. With Goff is what an 8-year pro. He's
Going to year 10.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra's been in the league for 4 years or so. Laporta's on year 2 or 3. Like the big pieces that are going to make or break the Lions offensively. Sewell,
Yeah.
right? Like
They're still
those
there.
dudes are established players. Jameer Gibbs is a lightning rod, but can also run you over.
Jameer Gibbs.
David Montgomery is like they are the perfect. I don't think I've seen a better 1-2 punch at running back in a long time.
No,
When I was growing up in the 90s, there was no 1-2 punch. You either had a stud or you had none. And now we've gone to this platoon crap, right? But with the Lions, it's different. Both of them are good enough, especially behind that offensive line.
I get it, and it's either Super Bowl or bust for the Lions.
Yeah,
And I'm going with
a
bust.
big. It's a
I'm
big
really
year
going
for
with
them.
bust.
It's a big year for them.
And
But
that's why I have 3.
But
I can see them being 2, and I can see them being 1. But
I think they win the
I think it's
division
Bucks.
just because, like I hear what you're saying about the coordinators. I don't think because of what they've already because of how established those dudes are. I don't think it has as big an impact losing them to head coaching.
And that makes sense. I think it's a toss up between the Lions and the Packers to win the division. Those are the two. One, the Packers are established as well. This is Jordan Love's third year.
Well,
but
no, 3 years as a starter. He's been in the league for like
exactly.
6 or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's been in the league for a while.
7.
So I think it's going to be a toss up between Packers and Lions for first place. Whoever wins that division.
See, and I'm a little different because I think that the Lions are talented enough of a team, and yes, you lose your coordinators, but you don't have a lot of change in
Guys,
pieces.
that damn head coach
Okay.
knows exactly what
So
he's doing.
I think the Lions are not that they're going to run away with the division, but I think they're going to win it. And then I've got the Vikings and Packers more of a switchable position because does Jordan Love take the next step? Does Matthew Golden come in and add a piece to that offense that they haven't had since what? Donald Driver?
No, Devontae.
Oh, thank you, Devontae Adams. But it was Devontae and Aaron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
they didn't have a defense
for
then
that
either.
for that offense to fully take off, 'cause I mean, Christian Watson. Oh, he might be out for this year.
He
too.
is.
Yeah, he's out for this year too, and they have Romeo Dobbs.
It'll be Dobbs, Golden.
They
and
need
Reed.
Matthew Golden and they need Kraft at tight end to take a step, and obviously Josh Jacobs he's a mauler. Like Josh Jacobs.
Well, and that's something they never had. Amon Green's the last running back that was. I mean, you just had
that big powerful back. It's like
just a dude that can go out and make.
Because Aaron Jones is like that
Hit the
receiving
hole.
back.
Yeah, but he was in and out a lot because of injuries, and that was when the offense was changing for him.
Right.
I just mean like they had Eddie Lacy, and he had like 2 good years by.
Because he ate himself out of the league.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like they've had good players,
Put
but
down the pancake batter, son.
but
Damn.
what like Eddie Lacy turned into something that's I can't be an all out back. Like I'm just gonna be a big boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and it's weird. It's weird because of the tradition of the Packers, right? But I just think that the Bears are the clear cut bottom. I think that Ben Johnson's going to have them taking steps forward because I think Ben Johnson's that good of a football mind. Look, what is he as a head coach? We don't know yet, so I'm not going to give him more credit.
He's had 3 offensive coordinators for the first 3 years.
Right.
Of his,
Right.
So it's like
But what was he in college?
That's
Lincoln
all.
Riley was his guy the whole time.
exactly.
And what I saw from Caleb Williams is he's
Same.
not the first overall pick.
Yeah, same thing we talked about.
I think that Jaden Daniels was the clear-cut number 1 pick, and you could be having a totally different conversation about the Bears if Jaden Daniels was with that litany of receivers that they had last year. They had a horrible offensive line. I'm not making, but Jaden Daniels needs less of an offensive line.
The thing is, too, is like I almost sent you the video. I forgot because I thought you'd find it interesting. The whole Sean. By the way, Nick Wright, me and you got some issues, bud. You little Bronco hater.
But so you're always gonna have issues with
Yeah, I'm all having issues with him.
Yeah,
Even
right.
though
It's all
I
about
do-
the red
I like
kingdom,
him,
baby.
I do like the
Less.
majority of his takes, but when it comes to the Broncos, I think he's a little scared of the AFC West this year, just a little bit.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that next week, boys. But it's what Sean Payton did was like he looked at like he created a playbook because he was going to draft Patrick Mahomes like. Oh my gosh, it's probably 10 years ago since he's been in the league. Patrick Mahomes has been in the league for 9 years now. So, like, when he was first looking at Patrick Mahomes as Drew Brees' replacement, I think this was before the NFC Championship year, maybe after, he developed a system where he's like, I want to see quarterbacks, like, at their worst. Like, what's their worst stats? Because he believes and a quarterback is quarterback sacks, like quarterbacks getting sacked, is not an offensive line stat. That's a quarterback stat. To a degree, I do agree with him, and then sometimes you can really just tell, hey, like the offensive line is just not what it should be, whether injuries. But he is right. Like Caleb Williams, his whole game was based off-platform throws, moving out of the pocket, like timing offense. And when it comes down to it, he was sacked the most. The 2 quarterbacks that weren't sacked the most, well, that includes Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy, who, by the way, has a high sack rate. And we all know Michigan's offensive line is going to be damn good every year. So we do know when he got sacked that much. But he just developed this wonderful system. This is how, if I believe if we would have had the second pick, he would have picked Jaden Daniels over Bo Nix. And I feel like, not that he's necessarily settled for Bo Nix, but he was like, okay, if Jaden comes off the board, I'm 100% happy with Bo Nix. If Bo Nix comes off the board, I'm 100% happy with Jaden
I think
Daniels.
Bo Nix is a perfect pick for the Broncos. We can talk about this more next week too, but I think Bo Nix is a perfect pick for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Because he fits what Sean Payton does best, and his strengths are the strengths of that offense.
Yeah.
So it's not like you got to like mold this guy into somebody that can do what Sean Payton wants. He already does it.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's able to come in now, start immediately, be impactful, get the ball in the hands of the guys out there to go make plays. Like, that's why that situation is going to work out. And the Broncos have a great future as long as he stays healthy. Which I think he will. He doesn't really have like an injury history.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. And I mean, and I'm not trying to be Broncos homer here, but like he brought him up because they took the least amount of sacks, they had the least turnover-worthy plays, least amount of turnovers through Arizona State, through LSU, and obviously Bo Nix at Auburn, through Oregon. We all remember Bo Nix at Auburn was, oh my gosh, it was so bad. But anyway, good topic on the NFC North again. You are crazy for putting the Lions.
I think if McCarthy comes out and surprises everybody, that's how the Vikings flip over the Packers.
That's the only way. That's the only way. I agree. Where it's
But
like,
they're solid elsewhere.
I just think the only way the Lions go to third is that Jared Goff has to get hurt.
I think
That's the only way. But guys,
That's why football is football. It surprises us every year.
I know.
But
It's
then you
so
never know.
Guys are so
Hendon
close,
Hooker
boys.
gets his shot.
He's hella good. He
Alright,
probably would have been
yeah.
a first round pick.
He would have been a first round pick. He would have probably won the damn Heisman.
Maybe. All right,
All
boys.
right, yeah, let's come on. Final East.
Now we're going on to the NFC
We
East,
running over.
boys. The time is on. Guys, plain and simple. Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants is exactly how I have this division playing out. Any takers? Any
I'll
takers
start.
going against
Okay,
I think you're right.
Cool.
But here's what I've got.
Let's end the show. We're good.
I think you're right, but here's what I got. I don't think anybody's ready to contend for what the Eagles have built in this division. I hate to say it because I hate them more than any other team in this league.
I heard that. I hate
But
Don't do
they
that.
are
Don't do that.
fully loaded
Who
They
did
didn't
you
lose any.
everywhere. The Eagles.
No,
it's Darius Slay.
Okay?
say Eagles and who?
He said
Eagles,
Eagles,
Commanders,
Washington,
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
That's what I thought. No,
What was the last one? The Giants.
Yeah.
I got Eagles,
I-
Cowboys, Washington.
So here's my
No.
thing.
Delusional.
The only way I think, obviously injuries come into play and it changes the whole landscape of the division, especially in critical positions. Okay, I think that if Jaden Daniels, and I'm not expecting this just because, damn, that's that boy good. If he has the sophomore slump,
That's Stroud.
right, like that Stroud had,
Stroud didn't
Stroud
have it.
also
His
lost a lot of-
Stroud didn't have it. His offensive coordinator had it. His pass blocking schemes were awful.
Okay.
Who has Laramie Tunsil diving at defensive ends
Okay.
ankles?
But-
that's
players make plays, and
He
you're in
made
the
plays.
NFL.
he made plays.
I'm not saying he was bad, Kyle.
And Nico
I didn't
Collins
say he
is-
sucked.
All
I
right,
didn't say he was
know,
horrible.
I know. I'm just saying.
But everybody
he's
was
not
look
what
at
he
what he
was
did as
this
a
year.
I'm just
rookie,
saying,
and they're like, "Holy hell!"
Nico Collins and Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz all got hurt. Tank
I
Dell is
under-
not playing for like 2 years.
I
because of that.
understand
His
that,
leg went like this.
but players make plays,
I get it.
okay? And he didn't play horrible last year, but it was nowhere near what people
Sorry,
expected.
I love CJ
coming,
Stroud.
I like the man.
I like
Luggage.
Stroud too.
I love
Okay.
CJ Stroud so
He
much.
did not have the season his second year like everybody expected him to have.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
That's what I'm saying. If Jaden Daniels has that same issue, his fault or not, the Cowboys get second.
Cowboys get a healthy Dak. We're getting second. Dak all year.
Good luck.
We're getting second.
I love him, but
How was the Commanders' defense last year?
Bad.
It was
awful.
it was-
The
it was-
offense
they were
carried
awful.
them for
Yeah.
sure. So.
So if
That's
we get
a lot
of points
if we
allowed.
get and I
Yes.
agree with John on this. If we get, a sophomore slump from Jaden Daniels, I think the Cowboys will get the second. in the
Yeah.
division.
So if you look at last year's points against,
we also got to get Micah on the field.
yeah,
That was
For
we
sure,
talked
for
about
sure.
that already.
if you look
For
at
sure.
last year's points against right here, the Eagles had the best with only 303 points scored against them. They got into a couple high-scoring games last year. Commanders had 391. The Cowboys had 468, which led the division. And then the Giants came in at second place with
We also gave
415.
like 60 points to the Saints.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just
terrible, bro.
I mean, just to speed up this round, boys. I mean, y'all got some heavy sledding to do for the Cowboys,
We'll probably spend a whole nother hour talking about everything going on.
hours. And I mean, and the Giants, the scrappy Giants. I'm gonna call
We
them this
just
year. They'll
keep
be
them at the
scrappy.
bottom.
They're gonna keep. They'll be at the bottom, but that defensive line is so scary.
And they got
This
Malik
defense is so
Neighbors.
scary. Yeah, and I mean, they have a bunch. They have a bunch.
And they got
of
Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Abu. I didn't even remember.
They're at the bottom for now.
they're at the bottom for
That's
now.
what I
In the
got.
We have to
preseason,
see how
But
Jackson
they could
Dart-
potentially be the second best defense in the division.
And
Sexton
Carter.
Dixie.
Carter. I know that.
I can see.
I do.
I don't think they're
I'm ready to
passing
see what
anybody
he
for
really
the
gonna
Eagles. And I don't think there's a better defense than the Eagles. There's just
Or
Ooh.
offensive line.
We're coming
no. I mean in this division,
in the division. Oh, okay.
the Broncos have the best defense.
Thank you, buddy.
They do.
But
They are
anyway,
loaded.
But just to kind of speed it up a little bit, boys, we are kind of going over a little bit. Thank y'all to everyone watching the Pipe Down Show. We really appreciate all the love that y'all giving us. The only way John kind of has a point with the defense in the way of like, if the Commanders' defense like gets worse than what it was, like I don't know who they really had last year, and not only that too, like
It wasn't good.
and like Cliff's got to pick up his play calling because now everyone's going to learn how to play against Jaden Daniels. But
Which is something I think is going to impact.
So-
Flip is great, but
Well, if we
people
all
have
remember,
how many games of film on Jaden to adjust?
if we all remember,
You know what I
they
mean?
didn't
17,
really,
whatever, 18.
they didn't really start taking off until after that Hail Mary from the Bears, where
Yeah.
they I don't know how.
shit, dude.
Like,
I would say,
Yeah,
four?
but
I would
Daniels was
say
playing
that.
at a high level all
Yeah,
season.
but
I would
everybody-
literally say that Monday night game against the Bengals because I had that Bengals defense
Oh, I
starting in
watched
there.
that, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that drop back to Terry McLaurin like took my soul. I lost by
Gotta get him
0.3
signed.
points.
And another thing, like, gotta get them signed.
Gotta, yeah.
The
I don't know too. They gotta get all these players signed.
Not for 33 though.
another thing that we're probably gonna have
29,
issues with
30
this year is our offensive
No,
line is.
Give him
For
30.
Cap-
We lost
30 and
Zach
a
Martin.
half.
Our
Cap-
offensive
Cap-
line is like we've got two
close
second-year
enough, though.
guys.
In
Tyler
that area.
Guyton, who's hurt right now, Cooper
And
Beebe.
BB, who was
And
all
then
right.
We've got a rookie and the other Tyler, and then we've got two veterans. That's it.
Tyler
Not-
Smith is an all-pro.
Not to get off topic a little bit. Rashawn Slater, sorry we have to, but Chargers offensive tackle tore his patella tendon. It's good for us in the division. It's terrible for him. I'm glad he got. This is why players need to get paid. He just signed that $150 million contract a year ago, and now he's not going to play. So now his injury guarantee kicks in. So sorry about that, Rashawn Slater. But see you next year, brother. Anyway, so bottom line, guys. Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. Now, this is going to be another tight division. I have the Giants winning, like, sneaking up on some teams, probably winning 4 to 6 games. Cowboys.
We'll
can
probably
win.
split with everybody.
Yeah, well, I think.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean,
think we lose
y'all
one to the
always get
Giants?
Philly like once.
We're gonna
You
beat
get Philly
Giants.
like-
I think we're gonna beat Giants twice. That's just me personally. I feel like we're gonna
That's because Dak's a giant killer.
Yeah,
bro.
that's it.
But
But
it's
and
our
also-
offensive line because their defense is going to give us
Yeah,
problems.
exactly. Because they gave us problems last year. Too.
And the thing is, too,
If you
just
have them
added
all
the
back,
next
they're all
Michael
gonna be back by
Parsons
then.
and
Though.
freaking defense.
As of right now, they're only gonna be gone 3
Exactly,
weeks
well,
before the Cowboy offensive line.
Yeah,
boys,
but
boys,
their
boys.
defensive front is
Yeah,
better
but Tyler
than ours.
Guyton last year wasn't even off. Like he wasn't.
But
Obviously,
his
well,
but his mindset now, his
His
technique, working with God damn it.
Tyron Smith.
No, the Dallas Cowboys
Steele High
offensive
School,
lineman
Terrence Steele at Steele High
coach,
School.
the
I don't remember his name.
Terrence Steele.
Manny, is it Manny Mayweather or something like that?
Manny Pacquiao.
No. That's fine. Anyways,
But guys,
David I'll figure it out. I'll let us know next time. But he's been working with him.
I think there's a
Technique
lot
has
of
been
potential
going
on the
on
line
with
for the
them.
future. It worries me right now.
they gotta
He's
play.
bro. I'm not saying he's gonna be great.
They just gotta
but
play. They're
he's
young.
gonna be better than last
They-
year. Previous
yeah,
Tyler Guyton.
straight
I
up.
just know.
They just have to play. They're young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
They
you've
have
got
to play.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a high ceiling for the group,
Yeah.
but we're not there yet.
No, oh, for
and
sure.
we've got to
I
play
feel
the Eagles, and we've got to play the Giants, who's going to have Sexy Dex
And you gotta
and
play the
Abdul Carter now.
Broncos.
So it's like we'll have to
Brian
see.
Burns and
Yeah.
just keep
And
going.
this is me, by the way.
That's Brian Burns.
I say all that.
Oh my
Not trying to be
Abdul Carter
biased
II
at all.
beat Thibodeau
Let's
and
be trying to
Ryan.
be realistic.
Imagine having that defense and knowing you're still probably gonna get fired at the end of the year. But
We'll have to
boys,
see. It's a toss-up.
boys, I think that'll wrap it up for this week's episode of Pipe Down.
Good up.
Good job, gentlemen. Good job. I mean, next week for all the people, again, thank you for all the love for the 15 subscribers we got. That's like 13 more than I thought we were going to get and all the views. Please continue to send your support. We love y'all.
Much
This
love.
would not happen without y'all. It probably would, at least in this time period, because we're going to do it no matter what. But, yeah, tune in next week to our AFC predictions. And boys, we're officially 2 weeks away from college football. We're 3 weeks away from the NFL. We can taste it. We can feel it.
Just like we were tasting them wings.
Yes, decided tasting them wings.
Yeah.
Next week, tune in for the smoking meat section. I think I'm going to try to do riblets. I think I mastered that recipe. A lot more seasoning. Y'all boys were correct on that. So, riblets is what we're doing.
Yeah.
No vote. We're going to do riblets again next week. I'll actually be able to show y'all. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Everything that's good,
Please.
do it. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Lord, for everything you've given us. And boys, we did it. Episode 2 is done. We will see y'all next week on Pipe Down. Woo!
Good job.